Hi, everybody. Hello. It is Sunday, 18th of August, 2024. I am Brune, and I trust you are all doing very well today. On this evening's shit show, we are discussing the goings on in Hollywood, as you do, and all the stuff that's been going on the social media. It was a week where shite happened, and it was a week where even more shite happened. Blah, 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 blah. Shall we get the guests out? Let's do this. Okay, so. Oh, hello, pussy. My cat. Okay, so. Shut up, cat. Okay, first up. Nayat, it's Master Nayat. My pussy's screaming.
Is that a usual occurrence for you?
Possibly. Hello, friend. How are you?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Not
Great
bad.
to be on.
Should we just get him out? Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, it's great to have you on, mate. Let's see who's next then. Okay, so Astromech Droid of Channel. Professor R2. Nice. Look at that.
Hello there. Yes.
Look at that.
That's the sequel I'm writing to Alien. Alien
Illegal.
Graduation.
Not illegal.
Love it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We have there's Alien Education. There you go.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So some of you probably remember there was a there was a Twitter chat that went on for days where I was out there, Melvin was out there,
Oh yeah, I remember that. Was
Princess was out there, and we were pitching all of these Alien versions of movies, and I still have every one of those that I
sorry,
made back
cat.
then.
Oh, cat. Was Illegal Alien number one? All right, let's move on. Okay, great to have you on, mate. Okay. Oh, look at what's swear jar at the ready. Vex Electronica. Hi, Vex.
I'm the Vexamorph for the stream now, apparently. You know what? Now I'm going to actively make sure I don't swear because this is apparently a regular occurrence. This is a namesake now for me. So if I swear, you're all allowed to publicly shame me.
Is it problematic to say, look at the jugs on that?
I mean, it's a blend of me, and I believe I'm a biological woman and a xenomorph. So
very symmetrical.
I know. It's impressive, isn't it?
It is. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Vex, it is great to have you on. I'm getting inundated with pussy here. Shall we get the next person?
The first?
I'll give you a clue, everybody.
I mean, it's got to be a nice change of pace.
It's been a while. I'll give you. Oh, it's shit. Can we guess? Anybody guess?
Platoon. Oh, ew.
Oh, nearly.
Ian.
Hello, Ian.
Hello.
You all right?
You guys all right? Yes, I am fine.
Hey,
Wait, what's on the menu this evening?
Biscuits.
Oh,
Hobnobs, actually.
Oh, McVitie's.
I love hobnobs. They're so good. Well,
Is that why you're a fat bastard? Anyway, quickly moving on. Hopefully didn't hear it. Great to have you on, Ian.
Cheers, ears.
Right, folks. There is
Another.
Ooh, greetings from copyright hell.
And for the folks at home, Atom Gray, a little bit about yourself.
He's an atom and he's grey. There you go.
Hello. I, along with my partner in crime, Miss Barbara Lawrence, am one half of B-Roll Stage, the most disliked channel on YouTube. And it's a pleasure to be here with everyone.
It's long overdue, isn't it, my friend?
Yes, well, we're here now, and that's all that matters is family.
Have you told your wife to tell your son not to sweep their leg?
Johnny, sweep the leg. Yeah.
Well, who do you think taught him how to sweep the leg?
Sweep the leg. Sweep the leg. Here you go. Look at this. Jim Jams. Oh my God, it happened.
Hey, Jamma. I just met Jamma a couple weeks ago, and we had a little meetup.
Oh, wow.
Really?
It was lovely. Awesome.
Yeah.
Aw.
He's swell.
Was there a lot of people queuing around to get your autograph?
Mine? No.
It is great to have you on, Atom.
Thank you, Mr. B.
Shall we proceed?
Let's move forward, shall we?
Yes.
Do it.
I'm boomering, folks. Episode 223, Musings, today's date. Like, share, subscribe, donate. Okay, so this was the biggie this week. Are we doing spoilers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, folks, are we
Yeah.
doing spoilers? Chat, yes, no, spoilers?
Close your ears if you don't want to hear what happened in this movie.
Anybody?
Go for
Anybody? Spoilers, are we going for it?
Couldn't care less. Go
Well-
for it.
Sword says no.
I will let's hear what Vex has to say about this movie, shall we?
Oh,
Why?
Well, we got a super chat.
I've been waiting all week to hear what Vex has to say about this film.
Common people arranged £10 real money at the moment. If I hear any alien spoilers, I'm going to tell the police about those pics you keep sending me, Brown. Someone send me a Liam Neeson dong joke to let me know the spoilers have ended. Have ended.
Will that fit in the post?
Ooh.
I think you have to pay extra to ship something that large. You
You
know,
do, the
especially
shipping's horrendous.
especially overseas. Might be a
Yes.
prohibitive.
Okay. Right then. So are we doing spoilers?
How many times we
Yeah.
got to say it? Yes.
Yeah, I think the
Go
majority
for
of
it.
people have said yes.
Okay, right, okay. We're gonna
Let's
do
put a
spoilers.
we'll put a
folks.
20-minute moratorium on spoilers.
Should
So
I
you
just
come back in
go
20 minutes.
Spoilers
and-
for the next 20 minutes. Spoilers, everybody.
Let's do it.
Spoilers. Okay. Who would like to vent first?
Vex.
Okay.
Vex.
Go on
Okay,
then, Bex.
all right. I liked this movie.
What? What?
Yeah. You know what?
until
Okay. It's got some very obvious issues in the way that it creates and presents its characters. I think the final act with the xenomorph hybrid is quite silly, even though I actually really like the creature design. But Fede Alvarez, he manages to capture the tone and atmosphere of the first Alien film really well. There's a lot of inspiration taken from Alien Isolation, which I greatly appreciated as a gamer. The characters, I mean, they were naive. They weren't stupid like they were the last two entries. So instead of them having to be dumb for the plot to happen, they're naive. And I think the opening scenes do a really good job of painting why they are the way they are instead of just, I'm just going to make them stupid so the plot happens. So I did watch it a second time. It still holds up really well. Phenomenal theater experience. The cinematography,
Really?
sound design, the score, phenomenal. Like I honestly, I give this like a 6.5 out of 10. It's not perfect, but it's what the franchise definitely needed after like 30 years of shitty Alien movies.
okay, so still a D.
No, it's like a C plus.
Well, that would be like 75.
That's a 7.5, I think.
Oh, really? I thought that was like a B. Because
No,
anything over an A
65 is a D.
I
Okay,
go-
not
Says
here.
the teacher.
Yeah, really. No,
Not in Canada. Yeah,
Oh well, Canada can.
yeah. There's a whole slew of issues there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's next? Nayat?
Sure. Look, I probably feel the same way as Vex did. So the first time I watched this, I was actually quite impressed with the technical aspects. The aesthetics were brilliant. I thought that Alvarez and co-writer Seegas did a good job of blending the horror-driven, claustrophobic atmosphere of Alien with the action-packed, oriented aliens, with nods to almost every other film in the franchise, pretty much. And but when I watched it a second and third time, the flaws in the characters and the story department really became evident. So the film rushes through a lot of the action and suspense in the first act, which is probably the best act in the entire film. I agree with Vex that the characters initially aren't stupid; they're just very naive. But the film neglects the crucial aspect of character development. There aren't any fully fleshed out personalities other than Andy. Like, I think that Rain is pretty two-dimensional.
Agreed.
She's a likable protagonist, but there's not very much going on with her. Andy was phenomenal, both the character and the actor's performance. But when you look at Tyler, he's suggested to be her ex-boyfriend. That's all we know about him. Look at Bjorn, he's a dick, an understandable dick. Like, we find out that a synthetic had made a call while his parents were trapped in a mine, and they both died as a result of his actions. So we understand all of the animosity that he has towards Andy. But beyond that, he's just a dick. That's all there is to him. Tyler's sister Kay, she's just a pregnant woman. That's literally the extent of her character. And I think that we feel sympathy towards her purely because she's vulnerable and alone for most of the film. Navarro is simply just a pilot. There's nothing going on there. And when you compare the characters in the initial Alien film and Aliens, they're so well fleshed out. There's so many iconic lines. There's so much personality to them, and all of that is missing here. Next bit, if we're going into spoiler territory, there was a lot of things I didn't like, from the reusing of dialogue, like "I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies." That was unnecessary. Andy repeats Ash's line in Alien. Oh no, Bishop's line in Aliens. I prefer the term artificial person myself. But worse, and probably the most egregious use of
what got me
lines is "Get away from her, you bitch," from Andy when he kills the xenomorph. That came out of nowhere. People laughed and cringed in the audience. That didn't work. It works for Aliens because there's Ripley's defeating a queen and a female alien, as it were, and there's a lot of emotional attachment between her and Newt after the loss of her daughter. There's just so much building upon that, but this line came out of nowhere. Honestly, all they had to do was change the line to "Get away from my sister," and I think that would have encapsulated and sort of ended his character arc, with the most of the film having Rain describe him as her brother. It would have been nice for him to end by calling her his sister. I hated Ian Holm being back as Rook, a clone of Ash. I probably would have forgiven this if he had one line or a couple of lines, but they made him the chief bloody antagonist. And it felt really uncomfortable, especially given the fact that he'd passed away a few years ago, combined with the dodgy CGI work. With all of that said, I think that it really excels in visual execution. Cinematography is great, set decoration, production design. It captures the essence of the franchise. Creature effects, the animatronics combined with the slime and gore, the face huggers, the xenomorphs were great. At the same time, sorry, I feel like I'm going on forever, but while the xenomorphs look great, all of the great work that was done in the first and second act building up the xenomorphs was undone in the final act when Rain and Tyler have these pulse rifles that have auto aim assist, and she just kills 50 of them without really trying. And so it takes away from the fearsome nature of the xenomorphs when we see them dying that easily. I think it begins with promise, but it's let down in its final act.
The just to add on to there real quick, if I may, the whole xenomorph tunnel thing or whatever, I feel like the film completely undermines the xenomorph as a scary antagonist. Because you're right, they build it up completely. We even see the hives and everything, and then all of a sudden just oh, a gun with auto aim defeats them, and that's it, and it's done in 30 seconds. And then they quickly introduce in the xenomorph hybrid, and it doesn't stick, because I know it's trying to play off of that motherhood aspect from Aliens, but it doesn't work because we haven't gotten any character depth for Kay, and I have no reason to care for her whatsoever. Because the film introduces her as pregnant, forgets about her, and then, oh, she's still pregnant, but now we give her goo. There we go. This is gonna work out great. It's yeah.
Wha-
I really think if they had cut down the cast of characters, you would have actually gotten a far better film. Far better film.
Doesn't the auto aim outdo the pulse rifles on Aliens? Because weren't they the same?
So they're made for the colonial marines, but what's bizarre is this film is set 37 years before Aliens, yet
Yeah,
in this
exactly.
movie they have much more advanced rifles than they do 37 years later. It didn't
Retcon.
make much sense. I think the reason they did that is because obviously Rain and Tyler are not experienced, they're not soldiers, so you can't really have them firing pulse rifles with great aim. It just wouldn't have been believable. And I think they were trying to, because I watched Aliens last night, and there's that great scene where Hicks is teaching Ripley how to use the pulse rifle, and he shows her how to use the grenade launcher and everything, and that sets up her confronting the Queen at the end. That makes sense, right? Like in that scenario, all of the Marines had pretty much perished. There was only a handful of them left. There was good reason for her to be armed. And Hicks is a Marine, so he's able to teach her that. But in this movie, you have Tyler teaching Rain how to use the rifle. And when she asks him, like the film acknowledges the fact that it's odd that he even knows how to use this. She asks him, how do you know all of this? He's like, I read it in a magazine. It's just like, really?
Yeah.
What?
Nice.
I thought the
Really?
guns were a reference to the Alien Colonial Marines game. That's what I got from it. Because, like, in that game, you do have the option to auto aim, and they give you a cool pulse rifle and everything.
Oh, okay. So the movie makes sense if you've done
okay.
your homework. God.
Not really.
And
Just like
played
if
the
you're an
game.
Alien fan, that's really all it is. Like, I was able to pick up on a
okay.
lot of the isolation references because I love that game. That game got
Possibly.
critically panned for no reason, and you can really pick up the inspiration from it. But
For sure.
you don't
But
have
I
to
think
do
it's
the
just,
homework.
I think it's the same thing with like comic book adaptations. I don't really like the argument. Oh, it's in the comic book, so it makes sense in the film. It's like, well, the film is a completely different medium, and
Agreed.
you're adapting the comic or you're adapting the game, and so you have to make it make sense in this new setting. On the notion of the pulse rifle use, that zero gravity scene was really stupid. So like, okay,
Agreed.
they're at the bottom. They can't shoot into the aliens because if the alien bleeds, the acid will go through the hull, and they're at the very bottom, so it'll go into the vacuum of space, pull all of them in, it'll cause a decompression. I get that, but going into zero gravity does little, because even if they're in zero gravity, when you fire the rifle, the impact is going to cause the momentum from the impact is going to cause the blood to spray everywhere. So they all should have died in that moment. So that scene was really silly, although it looked nice. And that pretty much sums up like much of the film. Like, looks nice, but is pretty silly when you look into it. I thought that some of the characters were actually quite stupid. So like they begin naive, but they end up becoming stupid. So Rain notices that the xenomorph is sort of cocooned in an egg. It's about to sprout. And he decides it's a great idea, despite Kay telling him they should run away. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to stand here and poke it with this cattle prod. And even when he sees its tail come out, it's like, I should probably run, but I'm going to stay here. It stabs him. It starts bleeding on him. And none of his reflexes kick in, telling him to roll away from the blood. He just stays there and allows himself to die over like 10, 15 seconds. I thought that was really stupid. I also thought Kay injecting herself with the black goo was really dumb, especially considering her brother was going to do it to her, but Rain stops him, telling him that it's not a good idea. She doesn't trust it. And there was no reason for her to inject herself because she was in the elevator. She was about to head to safety. So, yeah. I really wanted to like this film. Like,
yeah, no, there's a lot of issues, and just to add on the character thing too with Rain, like they show the first act, like the first 1.5 acts, they show that she learns through observation. Like she mimics a lot of Ripley in that sense. Like when the face hugger gets on Navarro, she immediately knows, oh, it's choking her. Like we got to try and get it off her without it continuing to do that. But then even though she knows what androids are like, and there's conversation that happens, and there's a new android in Andy, right, with the new chip, she still is just like, how can you make that decision to let Kay die for our betterment kind of deal? Like, it just, like, Fede Alvarez takes what he wants to take from the franchise and intentionally ignores other things. Like, the other thing too I noticed is, why do the face huggers not have the acid blood? They've been like that in every single entry. Even Prometheus and Covenant did that. Why is that one little detail foregoed here, but you make the acid blood a strong point everywhere else?
Yeah.
I notice he does that a lot. Like, even when they see the acid hole in the hull when they first find Rook, they don't look up at all, which, like, for me, that just, like, that's a really big fucking hole. Like, I don't think it just spilled from, I'd want to look around my surroundings, and it takes far too long for them to notice there's a giant flippin' xenomorph skeleton just hanging a few feet above them.
You're right.
Like, it was just very, very silly, a lot of the things that he chooses to lean into.
So on the notion of the face huggers not bleeding acid, so as I said, I rewatched Aliens for the 50th time yesterday, and I did notice that in the scene where Carter Burke locks Ripley and Newt in, I think, the medical bay, and takes away their rifle, and there's two face huggers there. The Marines, I think Hicks and Hudson, jump in and save them, and they shoot the face huggers, but the face huggers don't have acid blood in that scene. I don't think. Yeah, okay. So like, to be fair to Fede Alvarez, like, there is a bit of inconsistency in the Alien franchise as to how the facehuggers are depicted. Yeah.
Here we go. Manuel Grell. Can we? I was just about to do this.
Sorry, guys.
All right.
Yeah,
wow.
I was letting you cook, guys. Ian, thoughts?
Damn, Manuel, that's cold.
I enjoyed it. But it has a lot of flaws. There's too many. I mean, you guys just mentioned a lot of them. I found it really odd that the acid from these aliens will just keep going and won't stop. Unlike in the first Alien, it stopped. It went through a couple of holes and then it literally stopped. It didn't go right through and everybody didn't die. The thing that really disappointed me the most, and people are going to crucify me for this, I hated the photography. Now, just go with me. Go with me here, right?
Okay.
Go with me here, right? The photography was terrible. The reason why it was terrible is because you couldn't see a fucking thing. They used a red light, they used a green light, they used a blue light. If you look at Alien, it was dark, but you could see the hole. You could see the corridors. You can make out where they're going, even though it was dark. Another thing that really pissed me off as well is the ships. Could I draw the ship that they docked with? No, because I couldn't fucking see it. I couldn't see it at all. When you watch Alien and you watch Aliens, you see the beauty of those ships. You see them flying over the planet. You see the Nostromo land, and you know the shape of the Nostromo. In this film, everything was so dark, it was stupid, right? So those are the things that annoyed me slightly. I've noticed that photography these days in films, they always use one light now. Like, if you look at Alien, the way they lit Alien was, you could see the white on the sponges on the wall. You could see the white. You could see the blue of the TV. You could see every individual color within the frame. But in this one, look at the poster, for God's sakes. It's all red. But where's the color of the hands? Where's the skin? Where's the yellow of the face hugger? And these kind of things really did piss me off for this film. And I'd like to just say that I did enjoy it. I'm just pointing out the stupid bits. Like, for instance, when Andy took on the main alien in the lift shaft, and they reach the bottom, and he shoots it. How comes the blood didn't go through and they both didn't fall through? Nothing. Yeah. I mean, they just changed the rules to suit the story, and those are the daft things about it. A lot of people say that, the characters weren't well developed. Well, nor the characters in Alien either. They weren't well developed either. I didn't care about Dallas when I first saw it, whether he was going to get killed or not. The only person I cared about was Ripley, because she was the last survivor, and I wanted her to survive. But saying that, in Aliens, it was the things they said that made you get closer to those characters. The things that Hudson said that was funny. Hicks was so cool. You know what I mean? It was. I think it was the actors that brought character to those characters. And in this film, oh God, that guy was so annoying. There's something in the water. There's something, oh, geez, shut up. Just drown him, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? I just hate it when they use working class English accent, which has no place in a film like this. They even did it in Star Wars, which really annoyed me. So why would you use that accent? It's so stupid.
The great
go
thing
on.
about the water scene, just real quick, is like
Yeah.
there's something in the water, and then we look at the shot of the water,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just clear to the floor.
Another
What?
thing, right, that people don't realize is that everybody's talking about how practical it was. Fuck, was it practical? There was so much effects in that film, CGI included. You just didn't see them. They were so invisible. Like, for instance, right, I saw the making of this film where they were showing the face huggers running around. You know how they did that? The two bits at the bottom, the flat bits before the fingers, they got wheels in them. So they have to be on the ground for it to run, and then the fingers would move, so it looked like it'd be crawling on the ground.
Yeah.
In the film, you could see that they weren't even touching the ground. Therefore, that is CGI, right? You'd be surprised how much CGI is in this film. Also, right? I'll stop right here. I hated the way it ended.
Agreed.
What, you're going to shove him through? You're going to push him out the ship again? Wow, that's original. Do you know what I mean? But apart from all those negative things I've pointed out, I did enjoy it. I had fun. But those are the things that really pissed me off when I was literally watching it, and all the things that Spec said, and what Niat said as well. So I agree with everything that's been said. But you guys didn't point out those things, which you probably disagree with me anyway. The lighting was shit. I'm sorry.
You saw it in the theater, yes?
I saw it in the theater, yeah.
Have you seen any other Fede Alvarez films?
Yes, I have. And I don't like him.
Oh, okay.
I don't like him.
I was going to say, like, the dark lighting is something I notice in all of his films. So for me, that was just more of a characteristic. The other thing I noticed with his movies is he does a really good job of establishing tone and atmosphere and even underlying themes. And then he basically melds his script to those things.
Do you know what, right?
They're not very strong narratives.
Do you know what, right? With directors, right? Especially when they've been pushed, a lot of people around them was giving them a lot of sugar, saying that they're great, they're brilliant, oh, you're so fantastic, whatever. They sometimes are too deep in that, and they never think about what the audience would see, or what the audience expects. You have to find the balance when you're making a film like this. Give them what they want, but also give them something original. But all of this film was steeped in his way of directing, his way of doing things. And also, let's not forget Ridley Scott's twatty, stupid thing in this film, right? The reason why Ridley Scott agreed to this film was because that he knows everybody hated Prometheus and Covenant. Everybody. And I don't care what anyone says. Everybody hated that film, right? Now it's been reinforced as canon now because of this film. That's the reason why he produced it. If it didn't have anything to do with Prometheus or that stupid Covenant, he probably would have said, nah, I don't agree with this script. Probably would have said that, right? It's so obvious what's going on. Maybe I'm just delving too deeply into it.
No.
Maybe I'm not. Maybe I am.
You're absolutely right. That was one of the things that let this film down, was that it worked better in the first act simply because it was like a homage to the first Alien film. I didn't mind the nods to aliens, but the moment it was linking itself to Prometheus and Alien Covenant with the goo and the creation of I think it's called the Offspring, which is a combination of human xenomorph and engineered DNA traits, the film just fumbled. I thought that was really awful and unnecessary.
Princess Fiona wrenched. I'm not dumb enough to enjoy a film like this. Sorry.
No, look, it is fun. It's a lot of fun, but it really falls off the cliff in the third act. It really does. But it's just like the woman is pregnant. She falls down these fucking huge steps and all the way down, and she's not worried about her baby. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well,
no, she clutches her stomach, so you can tell she is.
Yeah. And then she injects herself with the black goo. Why she do that? I have no idea.
I mean, I think that speaks more to just kind of that overarching like theme of desperation, and this is why the first like act and a half are really good, and then it just goes off the
so
rails
if
after
that's
that.
the case, why didn't the main protagonist take the black goo and throw it away? Or was it? I can't remember. Was it Andy insisted that?
Well,
Andy
Rook insisted. Rook insisted upon them to take it because he said it was the next step in human evolution. It was had remarkable healing capabilities.
She said she didn't trust it, did she?
She
said,
didn't trust it,
Yeah,
but I don't think Andy would have allowed her to not take it because he was still under that programming.
Yeah, sure.
But on the notion of Andy, there's two other inconsistencies and ridiculous moments I want to point out. So in the scene at the very start, when they're locked in the lab with the face huggers, the doors open slightly ajar. Tyler, Bjorn, and Andy are trying to open it. Andy's, despite being an android, is unable to open it. Right, like he physically is incapable of opening it. Then, when he has the programming directives and software upgrade from Rook, he's able to open doors. Okay, so there's a bit of we can sort of par it off to it being a software upgrade thing. But then at the very end, when she takes away his programming and he's back to being Andy, simple Andy as I call him. At the very end, when they're in the elevator shaft and the lift is falling, what does he do? He catches the lift and he's able to hold it and prevent it from crushing his sister for like 10 seconds. It's just a major inconsistency in his physical abilities.
Also, why are they called brother and sister? They're not brother and sister. Why?
I think it's that she sees him as a brother. Because her father had programmed him to take care of her as if he was her brother, and that was her anthropomorphizing him, her seeing him as a human more so than him accepting that he is human. But one major scene that took me out of it completely was that scene when the chest burster bursts out of Navarro. She kicks the control, right? The ship plummets into the fuel pod, and then back. Somehow goes into the hangar bay. I was just like, what the fuck? This is so stupid.
And also, the xenomorphs, okay, right? I count 3 times I saw the xenomorph. Isn't this meant to be aliens? I want to see the aliens. I want to see them attack. I want to see loads of aliens. It's like,
agreed.
So annoying. I think I saw about 3 or 4 of them. I think that was about it, really.
They were all just like CGI'd in that last tunnel sequence. That's all. I agree. There wasn't enough xenomorph, too much face hugger almost, which was all spoiled by the promos, by the way. Every xenomorph scene, every face hugger scene, which was disappointing. But to the gestation thing, because I see that as a common criticism, that was actually explained why it gestates so quickly. Like it was really quick, but when they get to the lab, they're just like we were doing this experimentation to speed up human evolution. And that kind of tells you, oh, this is why the eggs are gestating far quicker than they have in other things. But then that poses just a continuity issue because they don't gestate that quickly in the rest of the franchise.
Also,
like
the face huggers do have acid for blood. Because remember when they cut the knuckle when it was on Thingy's face, and it
in the first film it does.
Yeah,
in the first film it does, but in the second film it doesn't. So in the first film,
concentrated apparently.
Yeah, in the first film when they're removing the face hugger, they cut it and it bleeds through the hull of the Nostromo. But in the second film, I was mentioning when Newt and Ripley are stuck in the medical bay and there's 2 face huggers. Hicks and Hudson shoot them, but they don't bleed anything. We don't see any.
But it was the water sprinkling system was going off. Perhaps it diluted it.
There's no way.
Shall we move on? That was 30 minutes.
I know, but the thing is that it's worth talking about because, as I said, it really is worth going to see.
So, but are we recommending?
It's a shame. It's a shame that they didn't balance it out properly. It's obvious that there was studio interference by Ridley Scott, as far as I can tell,
Absolutely.
and also interference, and also who's the director's name? I can't remember.
Fede
Alvarez's stupid decisions. Instead of thinking about it very carefully and about what the audience want, and he's just thinking about solely what he wants as a filmmaker, and I think it's very selfish. That's the same thing with what's his name, the guy who directed 2001. I find his films very selfish. He just wants to do what he wants to do, but doesn't think about the audience. And I think with these directors these days, that's it. They just want to be unique, but they don't think about the audience, about what the audience wants or what the film deserves. But anyway, that's just my opinion.
Okay. Atom, you okay there?
I'm awake.
Somebody is. Prof, have you shut down?
I have
Oh, I'm still here. I just think everything Alien has been shit for 35 years, so I don't really care.
Oh, you've completely checked out then.
Yep, don't care.
Atom, you tempted still to see it, or
well, I've already been to the theater once this year, and that's my limit.
Okay.
But I will agree with Ian that I think since Game of Thrones, we've had this problem with the cinematography and the color timing be way too dark and stuff, way too dark to be, enjoyable. One thing that I was thinking about was what I would like to see in an Alien story is have the android be the sole survivor and fight the xenomorph.
That would be nice.
I think that would
I think
be
that was
fun.
what Covenant was, though, because David 8 survives and then he creates a mass.
Yeah, but he was evil.
Yeah, but that movie sucked. So
Yeah, and he was
So you want
evil
a
as
good
well.
movie, a good
Yeah.
movie where the
Okay.
android
well,
survives.
I hear that the guy playing the android in this movie is actually pretty good.
He's
as far
the
as
best part of
performance.
the movie. In all
Right.
honesty.
So
Really?
wouldn't you love to see him battle, a queen or something at the end of the movie? I think that'd be fun. But I'm all for practical effects. I applaud that effort. I'm not going to rush to see this. I might watch it on streaming.
Okay, let's lots of sidestepping, folks.
Mhm.
Okay, so Romulus debuts with 108.2 million worldwide, production budget of 80 million.
Do we believe that number, the 80 million?
Yeah.
It's gonna do well because it isn't a bad film. When normies watch this, they're gonna be fine. But with super critics like me and dare I say it, Vex, that we're gonna see things
Yeah.
that normal people
I'm-
won't see, right? So
I really
right.
don't know about that. If you see, I don't know if Brown has the cinema scores in here. We might see those in a bit.
Possibly.
but,
Can I just be honest though? Like, this is well worth going to the cinema to watch.
Ooh,
Like,
there you go, folks.
all the issues with it aside, like,
Yeah.
it is an absolute treat to go and see
it
in
is.
the
It's
theater.
fun.
Really?
It was the same
It's-
thing with like Twisters. Twisters is literally just a rehash of Twister, but it was so much fun in the cinema.
Yeah,
So,
it's definitely
I-
an experience.
Yeah.
I'd rate it I think Vex, you rated it third behind Alien and Aliens. I'd rate it
Yeah.
either third or fourth. I have issues with Alien 3 simply because they kill Hicks and Newt 5 minutes into the film, so it's very, very difficult
no
to
good.
sort of praise that
But
movie. But
also,
it is a good
just like
film.
to point out that watching films in the cinema is a different experience when you're watching it on TV.
Of course it is.
Agreed.
When
Or
you're in
India.
a cinema, right? First of all, it's a communal thing where there's loads of people around, and you get to ride with them. Second of all, you can't get up and go for a piss, or you can, I guess,
Or
and you
pause
can't pause it.
Yeah.
So you have to be locked into the film. It's a different experience. That's why when somebody says I went to India to watch this film, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, you didn't watch it properly, did you? Do you know what I mean? It's a
Watching
different
this in
view.
India too is an insult, honestly. Like, what a treat this was.
Yeah, it was.
No, like, because I saw it in the 4DX and just the visuals, the sound
nice.
effects, like, I could hear the people across the theater eating their popcorn and how dead silent the film was at certain points. Like, it was definitely an experience.
4DX, was your chair bouncing up and down then? Did you get sprayed
didn't-
by water?
Did you get sprayed by acid blood?
Acid
and
blood.
bukkake?
some black goo in your
Bukkake.
face.
That's what they said it was, but it tasted a little salty.
Did you go more?
Well, that's the thing
Okay.
about renting a theater seat is I don't feel bad about pissing in the chair.
Is it going to make a profit next week?
Of course, yeah, it is. It is. It is.
yeah.
It is.
So you know what that means, don't you?
what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Will be another sequel then, probably, if it does well.
Yeah, I don't look. It's as Vex says, right? It is a good entry into the Alien franchise, and it's a shame it took this long to get to something like this. It really is a shame, but if there's another film like this and it's just as enjoyable, yeah, I'll go and see it.
Here you go, folks. Princess Fiona wrenched at Vex Electronica. That's you. You are blinded by your love of Alvarez.
Mm-mm.
This
I'm
I do not
actually
like
not.
him.
dumb.
Do
I'm
not
not
like
a
him.
Building is
I-
ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not a hardcore fan of his. I just
Nor am I.
understand where he's coming from, so I can understand some of the creative choices. And again, we just went through almost 40 minutes of hashing out it doesn't work. But there's a lot of elements that do work in it, and I think those should be applauded. Given, again, the last like 10 Alien films we've had.
Yeah.
There you go. Wrenched. $80 million, by the way. Seems pretty low for Hollywood. Am I correct? This was a TV film, wasn't it? And
No, it started off. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they were going to release it on streaming. But
it was
on
so
the notion
good.
of its
Yeah.
budget, Prometheus and Alien Covenant cost more. I think Prometheus cost 130 mil and Covenant cost 100. So this is cheaper than those two, and it was better than those two.
Yeah, Prometheus was 125, and Covenant was around 97.
However,
It,
many
it
years
wasn't
ago that
hard
was.
to be better than those two films, though.
It
Come
really
on.
wasn't. Yeah.
No. Do you know what I mean? It's just really,
Okay.
I just hate the poster. Look at it.
Too much red.
It's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. The lighting was ridiculous. I'm sorry. I just hated the lighting in the
Poor
film.
lighting means shonky CGI for me, but there you go. Alien Romulus debuts with 97% on Rotten Tomatoes at the time of screen grab.
I can't take anything on
Yep.
Rotten Tomatoes serious.
Nope.
Yeah.
Bought and paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may be right.
And it's a slanted scoring system. It's like if you give it
Yeah.
above a 60%, then
Yeah,
It's
60,
fresh.
65,
Yeah, so
6.5, as Vex gave it, is fresh.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's very misleading. Some people will say that they dislike the film, but they appreciated it, and that will get like a fresh rating. So it's
Yeah.
quite strange.
and it gets you a gift basket from the studio, which is nice.
Well, there you go. But the score did drop. It's no longer 97. It's down to 81%.
Well, I mean,
I think 74 is probably more fair,
yeah.
but yeah.
A lot of people that reviewed it, Chris Gore and stuff like that, they were really hammered into it, and some
You
of the
were
stuff they
saying,
said,
yes.
I thought was unfair. But right, it's just their opinion, and if you're wondering about this film and you love cinema, go and see it. If you think it's shit, it's still worth going to cinema. I think cinema should be kept alive, personally.
You said they were going in too deep, as it were.
They were, but they were going too deep in the wrong. Like Chris Gore said, the characters weren't developed, but nor were the characters in Alien. They weren't developed either. I don't know anything about Dallas's past. All I know is he's got a beard and he got killed in the tunnel. That's all I know. Do you know what I mean? So, I couldn't care less about the characters in this film either. I didn't give a shit about any of them. I kind of liked Andy because he made me laugh a couple of times. I love dad jokes, but apart from that, I didn't care about anyone. Not even at the
agreed.
ending.
None of these characters are really likable, or like there's nothing to them. They're just kind of like filler because there needs to be enough people to get killed on screen.
Exactly.
Build tension kind of deal. There's nothing.
Their
more.
characters are merely the function that they serve.
Exactly.
Right? One's pregnant, one's a
be
pilot,
killed.
and one's a dickhead. That's literally it.
Okay, you go. Nameless, no name, wrenched. I'm going. Mega Geek convinced me.
And another thing I'd just like to say, right, that these days they always put backstories and characters, and there's no need for them. I give an example, right? The two films that I always pick up as an example is the Taken of Pelham 1, 2, 3, the original version,
Great.
and the new version. In the new version, John Travolta's got a backstory, and so has Denzel Washington. In the old version,
No backstory.
none of them have any backstory, and you liked them. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's because it's the actor you cast that's the reason why in those days actors were worth their money. You cast someone like Walter Matthau in that movie, you know what you're getting, and you wouldn't know Walter Matthau, so basically they'll ride with him. And
Great
so
movie.
they should never have cast unknowns in this film. Maybe they should have cast characters like, I don't know, like some British well-known actors.
Tom
I don't think
Hiddleston.
they.
I think
I'm wondering if that was a budget issue, and
Yeah, I know.
there
80
is
million.
I
no
know.
confidence in this franchise anymore.
Plus, it was
Yeah,
for
so-
TV.
I know, but there are TV actors, American and British, that you could cast in there for a good amount of money, which won't break the bank. So it just I think it's the idea that they think Hollywood's so stupid. They think if we cast some young Gen Z characters, then they're gonna flock to the cinema to see it. We couldn't give a shit. No one gives a shit. They
So-
just want to see the aliens.
What the director had said in quite a few interviews is that he chose young people intentionally because it would make it harder for people to see young people die on screen. But he
Rubbish.
forgot that you need to
What?
develop them as
Whoa.
characters in order for us to
What?
care about them. So his intent is like I get where he's coming from, but it doesn't justify the decisions at all because you don't care about any of them at the end of the day. Aside from Andy.
That's a terrible theory, and no, if the characters aren't developed, it doesn't matter who they are.
Is there going to be
Exactly.
counselling sessions after?
Look, I'll say this again. This is the reason why stars were created for movies. Is they bring baggage to a film. If you put George Clooney in the film, you know who George Clooney is. That's why you ride with the film with George Clooney. These days, stars don't work that way anymore. And if you put unknowns in the film, you have a hard time trying to care for them. You know, that's
You
how
put
it
George
works.
Clooney in a film, and I'm definitely not showing up. But that's me.
Shall we sidestep?
Sure.
Okay, we'll just do cinema score B+, whatever that means.
I have a question. What studio put this out? Is this Fox?
20th Century Fox.
Yeah, well,
20th
Disney
Fox.
owns them now.
So
it's
Disney. It's
So
Disney.
it is Disney.
Ed
Okay.
Net.
But
Yeah.
they did have 20th Century Fox in the beginning, didn't they? The
Oh, okay.
logo and everything. Yeah. So
Okay.
Which was nice to see actually at the start.
it
Of the
was.
weekend. Yeah.
Did you get the music as well, which is always
I
great?
did.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's great. Okay. Did anybody see the mock-up, the animatronic mock-up?
Yeah,
Of the
I saw a
alien?
lot
It
of the
looks
behind the
amazing.
scenes stuff. Yeah. I'm very impressed with the work that the effects people did.
And hardly any of that stuff was in the movie. I'm telling you right now.
What?
I'm telling you right now.
You gotta light it.
I'm telling you right now that it was augmented by CGI. Everything you saw in that film was augmented. It was just invisible that you couldn't see it.
Everything is now, though.
Yeah.
Really, anything
Yeah.
you fantasy anything now is just coated with a layer of
Yeah.
touch-ups.
Oh, there's one thing we didn't really, I mean, we sort of touched on, but I see all of this for the face huggers and the xenomorph, and I'm trying to think of why they didn't just get an animatronic head for Rook like
Yeah.
they did with Bishop.
Yeah.
It would have looked so much better than the weird CGI thing they were doing.
Yeah.
I'll go one better, Vex. Why not, instead of bringing Ian Holmes Ash back as Rook, why not bring Bishop back?
Yeah, a lot of
Lance
people
Henriksen
said
is
that.
still alive. And
Yeah.
that's great.
Good point too. Yeah.
A lot of
Everyone
people
would have
said
loved that.
Yeah, I didn't mind Rook actually. I thought it was a bit much that they made him the main villain.
Rook?
But was his name Rook?
Rook
yeah.
it is, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't mind him
Bishop.
at all. I thought it was nice
Is there
that
a
we
castle?
saw him.
Actually,
what's
the-
Ian
the
talking
Rook thing-
about? I'm
facade.
confused.
No,
Yeah.
he's just like, because they're all like chess piece names, right? But the Rook
Yeah.
actually
Thank you,
is a
Vex.
callback to the extended lore.
Yeah.
And there are Rook androids that are basically clones of Ash, but they're only meant for it's like just for like assistance in a lab and stuff like that, like small things overseen.
Porn?
I think Smilex misspelled prawn.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that we were just going to see him and it was a nice surprise and then that was that. But then when he kept coming back, I was thinking, okay. Yeah.
no, agreed.
Right. Okay.
Agreed.
Sidestep.
Star Wars.
Ridley Scott says he was depressed for 3 months after watching Star Wars because it was so good. He decided to drop his next project and made Alien instead.
Is he
No.
revising history again, or
Yes, that's not true.
Always.
That's not true.
him and
He-
Lucas
What's the
are?
real
are
story?
Yeah.
What's
The real story is that
story?
he didn't have any work after the Duelist because the Duelist was a big flop. So he didn't have any work. So it was reviled by the critics because they thought it was great. And it is a good film, tell you the truth, because I've seen it. But he didn't have any work. So he was making ads, I think. You know.
Yeah,
and,
Hovis.
and nobody wanted to take the project on either. Walter Hill didn't want to do it. And Walter Hill was an established director in those days. So there you
kind
go.
of an intimidating script for the time.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
It did challenge conventions. I was going to say, if this is true, he seems like he needs to stay depressed, because that's when he made the first film.
But
Agreed.
he wasn't the only one that's depressed after Star Wars. I mean, James Cameron's whole career was based on
Jesus.
Star Wars because he was so jealous.
Yeah.
He got really angry. He actually says it. He got really angry after seeing Star Wars. He kept saying, "I should have made that film. I should have made that film." And
Oh, that's his
That
secret
fueled his
cap. He's
anger.
always angry.
yeah, yeah.
Here you go, Flav wrenched. The Hovis ad was his best movie.
Was that directed by him?
It was, yeah, the Hovis.
Are you sure?
Yeah, positive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, positive. That was one of his first works.
I do like Ridley Scott, though. I respect his work, and I think he's done some really great movies. But
I do too, but he's peaked out.
he has
hard.
a bit, yeah.
Him and Cameron are very similar in that Ridley Scott makes Alien, quintessential sci-fi horror. James Cameron made Terminator, quintessential sci-fi horror. Cameron obviously carried on with the sequels, but as their careers have progressed, they've both just plummeted. I think the last good film Cameron has made was Titanic, and the last great film Ridley Scott made was Gladiator.
Titanic always goes down well in my house.
You said that joke last week.
And I will say it again.
And he will say it every week.
I love that Star Wars poster, though. That's one of the
I've got a t-shirt of that. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Great.
Let's move on.
Okay. We didn't move on very far.
Okay. This is from Robert Meyer Burnett. He was losing his shit because they couldn't even get. Is it in space? No one can hear you scream.
Correct.
Yep.
Yes, that's
and
correct.
They totally fucked
This
it
time
up
it's
for
war.
Yeah, actually, I watched one of those AI Super Panavision 70, trailers. It just came out last week, and they used the messed up tagline, "No one can hear you scream in space," and it was hilarious.
What a load of bollocks. I can't even get that right. What a load of bollocks. His point is that nobody does their booking job properly these days.
Yeah.
It's true.
It is true, because they've got too many stupid people that don't know they don't have the experience.
Yeah.
Well, no one checks their work anymore. No one proofreads. No one fact checks. It's just, that's what I remembered. And
But then again, to be fair, Hollywood's always been like that. They always have people that they know. They always
it's always the next person down the line who has to do the job. That's their attitude. But anyway, okay. As in life in general.
Oh, and now it's just AI. Anything writing like that, it's just AI doing it.
Okay. Probably a sidestep.
Oh,
look at these popcorn buckets.
So impressive.
They don't
so impressive.
sell them in England. They didn't.
Yeah, they don't sell it.
That...
They don't have it in Australia either. I was really disappointed.
I love some of the designs they've come up with for these things. I'm allergic to them calling them popcorn buckets. It's not a popcorn bucket. It's a display piece. It's just Disney does the same thing in the parks. They sell things that they call popcorn buckets for $60, and you can't even put popcorn in them.
When I went to see Deadpool, we asked I think it was my niece that asked the person over the counter, "Have you got the Deadpool popcorn thing?" And she said it sold out in the first day. It's all gone in the first day.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I remember the Dune 2 popcorn bucket that was gone at the midnight screenings.
Was it June 2?
They still had some here. I almost bought one, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
It is great marketing, isn't it?
It
to
is.
get people in. It's
fantastic
great marketing.
Yeah.
They are fantastic, especially the one that's lit.
I remember everybody remember the souvenir brochures used to get on movies in the old days? I used to love them, but they don't do them anymore. It used to be free, didn't they? It used to be on the counter, and you could
here and there. The odd movie has it now, but it's not every movie anymore. Yeah,
right.
Here you go, folks. Thinking man's joke. I do like this. Edge of Time, wrenched. Never skip egg day. Very good. Okay. Shall we? It's probably a sidestep. No.
Oh my goodness, something new.
Could somebody possibly read that? Because I'm going cross-eyed.
Could somebody give James Gunn a brush, please, to brush his hair?
James Gunn, everybody.
James Gunn is done filming Superman and suggests reshoots may not be needed. I've done a total of 1 day of reshoots on my past 2 films combined. His tips for avoiding reshoots include 1, over-prepare. 2, don't start shooting until I have a finished script my whole team is happy with. 3, hire actors and department heads I know can do their jobs. 4, surround myself with people who will challenge me and not just yes sir everything. 5, ask myself daily, Are there any small imperfections in the script or what we're shooting that might end up feeling like huge imperfections when we cut the film together? 6, 1 and 2 again.
Hold up. On number
Wait a minute.
on all of these, my guy, didn't you make Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and that was ripe with basically all of these?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I mean, these.
I like the third one.
It wasn't
Yeah.
bad.
Too bad.
It was
Not seen it.
very unbalanced. Very
Yes.
Hi,
unbalanced.
Timmy.
Like little things that add up to kind of making the whole thing kind of messy. Like, I mean, come on, over prepare. Don't start shooting until you have a finished script. I think a lot of films could learn from those.
Yeah, well, the thing is, that's what they used to do in the old days. Well,
Yeah.
I say that. But,
Yeah.
Well, this used to be the standard. It's just now with studios and their over reliance on post production, they're just like, we'll fix it in post.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
this used to be the
But it's
standard.
usually
This used-
CGI.
It's
No,
certainly opposite of the scrapbooking method that has supposedly been prevalent in Marvel for some time. So
Yeah, that's because they hired people that didn't know what they were doing. So, that's the way it goes.
I mean, he's clearly just throwing a couple of pot shots here, but
Mm.
the proof will be in the movie, James.
yeah, that's the truth.
I still think this guy's wrong for Superman.
I agree.
I think Superman needs to take a decade rest, honestly.
I think all superhero movies need to take a decade's rest.
Agreed.
But look, while Gunn isn't suited to Superman, I do think he's really good at writing characters. And from what I've seen of a couple of his interviews, he does seem to understand the character well. I'm not sold on a lot of the promotional images and the behind the scenes stuff, but let's just give him the benefit of the doubt, I guess, and wait till we see the film. before we critique
Super
it.
dud incoming.
No, but the most important thing that he needs to get right is the casting, and I don't think he's got that right. So
And the
therefore,
suits.
yeah, I'm assuming that it's not going to be good. But you might be right; it might be fantastic. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of people complained about Heath Ledger getting cast as Joker until they saw the film. Right?
Yeah.
So
Those people were fools. And all of us OGs knew he was going to be good.
Yeah,
No,
everyone's-
but the thing is that we didn't see a picture of him, but we can see a picture of the guy playing Superman, and he really doesn't do it. He doesn't look like a Superman. His face is. It's like that stupid ugly one that played it in a TV show. He wasn't right for Superman either. He wasn't right for Superman either, nor is this guy.
No, it was a
And
great,
just
this great
doesn't-
series.
Look,
That is.
So this
Mayday
guy-
in David Diaz, everyone.
Vex, did you recognize him in Twisters?
I did, yeah. He was the
Yeah,
little like
so-
kind of dickish sidekick. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the dickish sidekick. When I saw him, I was like, this doesn't really look like Superman. I understand he was playing
Yeah.
a completely different character, but he didn't have the stage presence, as it were, of a person that would be playing Superman. So
But he
Agreed,
just,
yeah.
I mean, if you look at that picture, right, that's a really horrible picture to promote Superman. His
Doing his
hair
shoes
is
up.
all, putting his costume looks dirty. His hair looks like uncombed. I'm just like, is this Superman? Why would you put this up?
well, the
God,
suit
no.
looks awful, and I don't know if you've seen the full background image, but it looks like Metropolis is being destroyed, and he's just like slowly and very
Yeah, he's
casually
doing his
putting on his
shoes up while
boots.
while the world burns. He's doing his shoes up, his boots.
you got to put your wellies on first. That's messy out
Oh
there.
yes.
But do you remember, right? I hate going backwards in time, but do you remember the first time you saw a picture of Chris Reeves as Superman? You were like, that's Superman. The
Well,
bright
Vex
blue
wasn't born.
costume, the red
What I
of
was
him.
gonna say is he's that Superman. He's the pure Superman. He looks
Yeah.
perfect as that Superman, just like George
OG.
Reeves looks perfect as the
The
50s
50s.
Yes.
Superman.
Agreed.
It depends on what they do with it. I don't know this actor very well, but different actors for different types of that role.
But even when you look at Gal Gadot and you look at Linda Carter, Jesus Christ, that's like beyond a 10, isn't it? And
I
you
look at her often.
so do I. But anyway, I mean, she's gorgeous, and also she was born to play Wonder Woman, and Chris Reeves was born to play Superman. They just got to find someone like that. I don't think this guy's it though. But as I said, I may be wrong.
I'm just
Totally.
I'm really worried that this movie is just going to be your standard goofy James Gunn movie. That's what my concern is really, and I don't want to see that brought to another franchise. I'd actually like
Yeah.
to see Superman go back to his roots a little bit more because I mean,
Mhm.
as much as I drip for Henry Cavill, those Snyder movies were god awful.
They were, yeah.
Yeah, they're
So-
terrible.
They were
And
just
I'm-
disappointing, if anything.
I'm so sick of deconstruction. I'm so
Yeah.
sick of it. Give us Superman as Superman. You know,
Really,
I don't think
it
they
should-
can.
Yeah, well, no, I
Maybe
think
not.
you're absolutely right. But they should have got Henry in this, and just ignore what they did in the past and get Henry in this and make a real Superman movie. Take all the other heroes out of it. Have a real Superman movie. That's it. That's what they should have done. But
It does seem extremely odd to have their first outing be some sort of, I don't know, with a bunch of different heroes in it. That it's
Yeah.
not just a solo film,
yeah,
right? It seems very strange.
Wait,
No.
wait, what do you mean? Hold on, wait.
Well,
Green
Supergirl's
Lantern's in it.
this.
Yeah,
Green Lantern's-
Supergirl's
Oh,
in
yeah.
it. Green Lantern. Who
What?
else is in it? Yeah.
Hawkman,
Hawkman,
Hawkgirl, there's Mr. Terrific.
This is basically the Suicide Squad, but with Superman characters.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
They should have
that
gone
is-
back to
yeah,
basics,
yeah.
seeing him grow up in Smallville, seeing him learn to balance the dichotomy between Clark
Agreed.
Kent and Superman. That's
what
what
I
we
thought
needed.
it was. Wasn't that what he said it was originally?
No, well, he lies.
Sure.
Do you know what the best thing about the Zack Superman was when he was young Clark Kent? That whole idea of him trying to stop his eyes going red and his mother coming to calm him down. That was terrific. Absolutely, I wish they had more of that in it. But they didn't. So
Okay.
there you go.
Let's proceed.
Proceed.
Anybody see this week? Kevin Feige releases a statement about Deadpool and Wolverine becoming the biggest R-rated movie ever. It's fantastic to see that audiences are loving this movie as much as we all loved making it.
talk about
Jeez.
stolen valor.
I'm saying,
Jeez, yes.
Why don't you just throw yourself in the bin, mate? You're talking rubbish. We know you didn't. We know you hardly had anything to do with this. You're just jumping on the bandwagon because it's a huge hit.
Did you see him taking credit for this if it bombed?
No.
Exactly.
Nope.
Exactly.
You know what? He did have to approve the many Kevin Feige jokes. So I think he can take credit for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here comes Deadpool and Wolverine 2.
Ugh.
Yeah.
We'll be doing it till we're 90.
That's
No,
what they
it's
say in the film.
no. Here comes Agatha,
Oh god.
Oh, God.
and on
See-
that bombshell, let's move on.
Will he take credit for that?
Yeah,
Oh, right.
exactly.
They're doing it
Somebody
very
will.
subtly. Have you not noticed that this is a new thing now? So basically, this was a huge hit, but they still had that crappy TVA in it that was connected to the TV show. So they did it subtly. They brought something in it, therefore canonizing it going forward. Same thing with what Ridley Scott did in the.
I
in
hate
that
the
Alien film.
TVA, but I thought they did a pretty good job of having
I
Deadpool
just-
take the piss out of it.
I just hate the TV. I hate the whole TV show.
No, I do
aspect of
too. I do
Marvel.
But the problem with Deadpool and Wolverine is it points out all of the flaws in the MCU, yet at the same time embraces them and takes all
Absolutely.
of those mechanics on board. So its criticism is therefore null and void, I think.
But that's what I'm saying is that they you notice that's what they're doing now. They can't force their version of the canon on the fans because the fans are saying frick off, and now they're subtly sticking it into what they think is going to be successful. There's going to be more of that going forward. Believe you me.
But Gary Nerdrotic, happy birthday, by the way, Gary.
Happy birthday, Gary.
Said
Happy birthday.
Marvel and
Feige.
No,
Mm.
they've messed up.
No,
sure
I
they-
think it was Chris Gore that said that he had people that he knows in Marvel, and they were cleaning house.
Gary has
cleaning
said
house.
several times on his streams, Marvel, no, they.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be Gary to not see that. Everybody can see it that they've made a mistake, and you can see
Yeah.
that they're backtracking, but they won't admit it, though.
Yeah, Lucasfilm will never admit it, but
Exactly.
I think Marvel's slowly pulling back.
Plus, Feige's a big fake anyway. He's not responsible for the Marvel universe at all. If you read that book, he's not. He just, as it got more successful, he jumped on a bandwagon, and then suddenly everybody thought that he was the one that brought what we know as the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It wasn't him at all.
Sorry,
Bigger
what book?
folks.
Hey, what?
What
It's
book?
it's called The Reign of Marvel Studios by Robinson, Gonzalez, and Edwards. It's a really good read. Bex.
Okay, thank you.
You go.
Okay.
Binary Rad. Feige should have been fired. Yep.
Yeah, he's risen to the level of his incompetence. The Peter principle is in full force.
Jesus.
Mm.
Okay. Let's. It's probably a sidestep.
Hooray!
Channing Tatum says he would do lots of terrible things to make a
Of
Gambit
course he would.
movie happen. I would kill kittens. I hope not.
He has no
Dis-
career anymore, so of course he
Yeah.
would do that.
Yeah.
Disney
Well,
will take you up on that offer. They will make you do lots of terrible things.
I have to say he was one of the highlights of the movie.
Yeah.
His cameo was really quite good.
I agree with you.
I thought he owned it.
Princess Fiona is a terrible guy.
Yeah, I was.
See you
I was
after
gonna
the
say,
show, Fiona.
I understand that there's a lot of like fan appreciation for this and everything, but honestly, like his entire cameo, this is just Ryan Reynolds doing Ryan Reynolds things, but now it's Channing Tatum and he's got a god awful Louisiana accent.
He was
That's
very
all this character came off as.
Very hammy.
Yeah, like the fighting was cool. I liked his fight sequences. I thought that was a highlight. But everything else, I was just like, what's the big deal? This is not exciting or interesting whatsoever.
Yeah, it goes down to the aesthetic. Like the costume is very comic book accurate. All of that is great. But when it comes to his writing, he was written by Deadpool, basically.
Yeah.
His Gambit movie was, I think, one of many failed X-Men projects by 20th Century
Yes.
Fox. It was unable to get off the ground. And yeah, as nice as it was to see him in Deadpool and Wolverine, I don't think we're going to see a Gambit film.
Well, I don't like to equate popularity with quality, but when he popped out, the whole audience roared.
Yep.
Really?
No, same in
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
theater. Yep.
Same with Mr. Snipes.
I think in my
Same with
theater,
Electra.
they didn't know who he was.
Really?
They're like, who's he? yeah.
Okay. Let's. It's probably a sidestep, possibly. Lots of concept art has been dropping for the past 2 weeks.
Henry Cavill.
Official concept art of Henri Cavill's Wolverine design in.
Oh, how stunning and brave
Oh,
of that
wow.
concept artist.
It looks like Wolverine.
Yeah, the guy
Can
looks
you,
like
Wow.
Wolverine.
Can you zoom in on that, please, Mr. Brown?
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah,
for how long
I
is
think
that?
there's
I
a
like-
specific part she wants you to zoom in on.
I like the bootcut jeans.
Yeah, all right.
Very stylish. Yeah, the Cavalry was great. After seeing him like get tossed around in DC and Witcher, I think it would be great for him to play Wolverine after Hugh Jackman's tenure ends.
He was
Which
only
technically
in it
should have
for
been
30
Logan.
seconds, though, wasn't he? It's like
Yeah,
30
yeah.
seconds. You
Of
know?
magic, yes.
Yeah.
That's enough time for most of us, Ian. Don't worry.
You got the job done, did it? Thanks.
This is a costume sketch. This is not concept art. This is a costume
Nah,
sketch.
yeah. It's look, you know what? I still think he should play Bond. I don't care what anyone says, but I think he's the only one left that can bring in the bacon, so to speak, to play Bond. I mean, if he gets this role, it's fine, but I still think he deserves
Honestly,
Bond.
but Henry Cavill doesn't have a. I know all of us love him, and I know that online, everyone's crazy about him, but he doesn't have a box office track record, which is why
That's because he was given shit movies.
Yeah, he's
But-
gotten a bad
He's
shape.
never been allowed to, really.
Exactly. But he has star quality, though.
Oh,
That's-
he
yeah.
Yeah,
does
but-
have star quality. Yeah.
Yeah.
By all accounts, he's just not a ball player, and they don't want to give him the roles that
Yeah.
he should have.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
Can I ask a side question on the topic of like Deadpool and Wolverine and Alien?
Yeah,
Romulus?
gonna.
Both feel like they're filled with member berries, but one film breaks the continuity of its universe in the form of Deadpool, whereas Alien Romulus doesn't have any canonical transgressions. Like I think it slides into the continuity of the Alien universe
Aside from
without
the auto
breaking
aim.
anything.
The auto
So, which
aim
is the better film? Oh yeah, the auto aim does. I
would
guess.
ruin everything afterwards.
Okay.
Which is the better film? Is my question, I guess.
What between what film and what film?
Deadpool and Wolverine and Alien Romulus.
I would say they're both on the same par, but if at a push, I would say Deadpool. I enjoy Deadpool more, but that's just me.
I'm gonna have to go Alien Romulus instead because, like you said, I think it fits into the canon more or less really well. It doesn't try to intentionally overwrite or redo things a lot, but Deadpool and Wolverine, it just felt like it was like a TikTok reel put together, but like of characters that you used to like or whoever they could afford to sign on. Oh god, it was one of the worst movies of the year for me, Deadpool and Wolverine.
But I see those two franchises as very different things. Since
They
the
are.
comics,
That's true too,
Deadpool has been very fourth wall breaking and very inside jokey and very,
That's a
it's
good
a lot
point.
looser.
There you go.
Something like Alien, where it's hard sci-fi or horror. Canon matters more, I think.
Yeah.
Here you go. Dr. Iceman, Wrenched, good-looking boy. Deadpool isn't a movie. It's a 2-hour long game.
I agree with that. But
And I laughed for 2 hours.
Yeah, everybody knew what they were going to get on in Deadpool. They knew it was just going to be joke after joke after joke and breaking the fourth wall. Again, I did enjoy Alien Romulus, but again, it has loads of problems. But
look, if you went to see Deadpool 3 and you didn't like Deadpool 1 and 2, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's fair. I liked Deadpool 1 and 2 though, just didn't like 3.
We can still be friends, Vex.
I've forgotten what it is. Okay.
Oh, Halle Berry. Oof, I love Halle Berry.
Halle Berry says Blake Lively asked her about playing Storm again in Deadpool and Wolverine. She would have loved it. She would have done it, but Ryan Reynolds never came calling. Blake asked me one time. I ran into her at Marc Jacobs fashion show, and she said, "Would you ever be in my husband's movie as Storm?" I said, "Yeah, if he asked me," but he never asked.
It's not really up to Blake Lively now, is it?
Well, maybe like with things when you're making films and stuff like that, sometimes you forget some of the little things. So maybe he just forgot to ask.
There you go, missed opportunity. Hello, Brian.
Yeah, look, Halle Berry was at the peak of her career during X-Men, but she wasn't a good Storm until X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Yeah, you know what, right? I love Halle Berry. I saw her in the Netflix film.
Swordfish, amazing.
It was a terrible movie, but she was good.
Yeah.
So there you go. But I love Halle Berry. I think she's.
Is that the one where Hugh Jackman gets a handy underneath the table while trying to crack the computer?
Yeah. And also, she got paid $1 million to show her boobies in that film. Yeah. So
she went, why not? Well, anyway, okay.
Do you know what happens to a toad when it gets hit by lightning?
Yeah. Same thing. Everything.
It ends up possessing a biker gang, or
yeah, what happens?
Okay, that was her awful, cringeworthy line from the first X-Men movie.
Oh, I haven't watched it.
Same thing that happens to everything else, and then she hits him with light. It's stupid.
I do like her.
She's great. Here you go.
All right.
Not Brian. He got forced. BJ.
Yeah, I remember it being a grapey.
Okay,
BJ.
Let's move on.
Have the roles reversed and see what people think, huh?
Oh yeah.
X-Men 97 creator Bo DeMeo
didn't he get fired? Yeah.
From the show in the weeks before its debut. Says he has not been invited by Marvel Disney to the Emmys despite the series being nominated. I created and produced it and was the entire creative point and leader on every aspect.
So do we know like what really happened? Is this guy also not a ball player, or is he a creep?
Well, there's
careful with
go ahead, Nayat.
There's two sides to the story. He claims that he posted an image of himself, which I don't know if you've got it, Brown, of him as a X-Men type character in underwear, and he said that got him fired. But there's also a rumor going around, which I don't think makes sense because Disney's in line with that sort of ideology. But take it with a grain of salt, but there's a rumor going around that he sent inappropriate images of various states of undress to many young male
Yes,
staffers,
multiple.
Okay.
Multiple
Very
He's on
male
OnlyFans
staffers.
as well.
very sexually suggestive hero poses that could use as inspiration for the show. He was asked to stop sending them photos, but continued to do so. So there's two sides to the story. I don't know which one is true.
But why would you do that? You've got to be the most stupidest person in the world to do that, and
I mean,
not
that's just
think that
Hollywood.
nothing will happen.
Somebody gets caught doing this every week now, though.
Yeah. The only way we'll ever really know the truth is if he were to bring some sort of lawsuit, and I don't think he wants the truth to come out. So,
I'm just thinking because he's showed up on Diabolical Souls, and he was very friendly, incredibly
that.
professional. Right? It's a stark contrast to the way that Disney and the media are painting this guy. I think he might honestly be in the midst of doing something because he's intentionally being very, very hush hush about what he says. He's being very careful. He didn't say a word about anything until that smear article dropped 2 days ago. He didn't say a word about this to anyone until that article dropped. So I think he is planning to do something. He just understands that he's got to be careful about everything he says.
yeah, I don't wish this guy any harm. Again, this is all just rumor. I think it sucks that he was in charge of this season of this show, and he's basically been banned from this stuff. He made a really good season of television.
Well, that's my original question: have we seen any proof? Because this is like
we haven't.
Smear tactic number 1 in the book.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah.
He's also had his name removed from season 2, which
he has now.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what you get for working for Disney.
True.
Okay. Let's move on.
Oh no.
A big rumor claims Marvel has removed the director from is it Captain Black America?
You got
Captain
it,
Falcon.
Brown.
You're not
Yeah,
supposed to say that, Brown.
Why? Okay. Sorry.
Let's be honest. Removing the director from a Marvel film is like removing an appendix.
Well, yeah,
nothing is going to change.
Why at this point in production do they even need a director? What is
Yeah.
going on?
Is he not finished?
It is finished.
Well, it should be. It finished shooting. But
the
any
third
movie
time.
that any movie that removes its director this close to release is in serious trouble. There's either some sort of personality clashing between producers and director, actors and director, or a fight about the creative vision. We should be worrying for anyone excited for this, which I'm not.
This was never going to succeed.
That's right, isn't it? Captain African American. I got it wrong. Sorry, folks.
Can I? Sorry, I know that this trailer played again at the beginning of Alien Romulus.
Yeah,
There's things I noticed, like he doesn't have the super soldier serum, right?
No.
But in the trailer, he takes this full marble table when he's out of suit and just tosses it throughout a door. But then he can't fight off 2 guys with electric sticks later.
Even in the TV show, Captain Falcon and Bucky Barnes, I think it is. I don't even remember the name. But Barnes is, I think, teaching him how to use the shields. How the fuck does he catch it? It's made of vibranium. It would break his arm. The only 2 people that can catch it are Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Right?
Oh, I don't. It's black girl magic. It's
again, Vex.
He basically, you remember that line in the trailer? It said, "You're not Captain America," but you can tell that they're not going to call him Captain. They're going to call him Falcon, aren't they? In this, because he still has his wings. So
doesn't
call him
Peggy
Red
Carter
Bull.
get chopped in half in the Multiverse of Madness by the Shield?
I don't.
Is that
know,
how
I don't
she
care.
died?
I don't care.
I
think so,
That
yeah.
was a bad loss.
Freckly woman. Who's that freckly evil girl woman? in that
Jesus.
show?
Brie
Yeah.
Larson?
Oh, Disney
No.
Jesus.
Disney Jesus. Did anybody see the on it was Twitter last week, there was a picture of I don't know if it was genuine or fake or whatever, a screen grab of Anthony Mackie kissing a bloke.
Yeah, that was from an episode of Black Mirror.
Okay, so it was
it's
African American Mirror.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, be careful there.
right. Okay, I like Anthony Mackie. Shame he's But anyway, let's move on.
It's not his fault, but I think we
No,
all agree
no.
we wanted Bucky.
Yeah,
We deserve
Yes.
Bucky.
Doing
I
it for
like
the
Anthony
money.
Mackie. I really do.
He's a great
He's
actor.
doing
Very
it for the
amenable,
money.
yes.
For the money. For the money.
So sad.
He's not. He has no superpowers. This doesn't
No.
make any sense.
I
It's
really
because they
liked him
want-
as Falcon. I
They
really
wanted
did.
a black man as Captain America
Oh, yeah.
because it makes sense to those stupid people, doesn't it? It makes sense. It doesn't. What makes sense to us is that Bucky should be the next Captain America because
Well-
that's what happened in the comics.
Yeah.
But these
Well,
stupid people, I don't know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Bucky's Captain America in the comics for
Yes,
quite
yeah.
some time, and it makes sense. I think that Captain Falcon here is Captain America in the new iteration of Marvel
Yes.
Comics. I think it was released
Yeah,
a couple of years ago, but it failed. Like nobody.
Yes,
bought
I'm
the comic
saying
book.
it was
Yeah.
made by the diverse people. Well, not diverse, but the stupid people, wasn't it? Is it?
And
It was made by the
on-
stupid people, and that's when all the
on-
comics started failing. And they go back to that.
on that bombshell.
Makes
let's
no
move on.
sense, right? Makes no sense.
Mhm.
Why
Okay.
would you go back to something that failed? Or take
Twisters.
inspiration at something that failed. Why would you do that?
Twisters is now available on
My
digital
sister.
just 3 weeks after the film's theatrical release, even though the film's doing well in theaters.
It is, and it just
What?
crossed $333 million worldwide as
What?
well.
This is
Yeah.
the new normal now, though.
Yeah,
This
it's the new year. You're right.
It
Absolutely.
has started to taper off. I mean, it probably only had one more weekend of.
I mean, it would have
Really?
helped if the digital didn't come out this soon. to be
Yep.
honest.
It had
They
the
probably
best-
made these plans long ago, though.
Yeah.
They probably planned to release this in digital long ago. They probably didn't expect it to do this well in the
Yes,
theaters.
exactly.
I think
And
that's
so-
fair. They probably already had the contracts lined up.
Yeah.
Correct. The cinemas probably didn't want to keep it for longer than 3 weeks with Deadpool and
And it was a
Wolverine
hit.
and Alien Romulus coming out.
Is it Amazon that produced this film? Is it? I can't. Who produced this film? Was it Nick?
This is
Netflix
Warner
or-
Brothers.
Warner Brothers. Okay.
There you go.
I mean, the.
Um,
Oh, go ahead.
Internet help desk wrenched. I missed the old days when you saw a movie on theatre, then had to wait 6 months for the video to come out.
The
Yeah.
old days, you had to wait 1 to 2 years for it to
Yep.
come out.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, just remember the per theater take this weekend dropped to less than $1,000.
Okay.
So,
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's tapered off.
Do you know what's gonna
the
happen?
opening weekend was nearly $8,000.
Do you know what's going to happen? Basically, what's going to happen is that Amazon and Apple and Netflix, they're all going to push until all the theaters close, and then they're going to make their own theaters, and they're going to monopolize the whole of that aspect of entertainment, and then you'll see movies stay
It's-
in the
it's the big
cinema for a
corporate.
long time. Yeah,
Well,
you
then-
think
Corporate's
that's what's
taking
going to
it all
happen. Yeah.
Yeah, but then we'll have that monopoly problem like they broke up in the 30s when all of the studios had their own theaters, and they'll just have to. There's no way you can legally sustain that. I don't think.
Well, we'll see, right? 'Cause
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Google's still a thing, so
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sidestep.
Oh, who's this?
Glenn Powell is taking it very personally that the kiss between him and Daisy Edgar Jones in Twisters was removed. I really think that even the that backlash shows that people care, which is really great.
Why?
I like that they removed it.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Was she
What's
too
that?
young for him or something?
No, it's just like so I think at the end when he gets her at the airport, there was supposed to be a kiss because again, it's heavily implied throughout the entire film that there's a tension there. But I actually like that they just kind of left it on a hanging note. Sometimes you don't have to show everything. Like, it's,
Yeah, I agree. We see their relationship blossom over the film, and they're more focused on surviving and getting the job done. And so a kiss wasn't really necessary. It's sort of implied.
Right.
At the same time, studios have taken this weird notion where they've cut out kissing scenes from.
they're
a lot
cutting
of
out all
films.
the romance. Yeah, in
the
a lot
romance
of
is gone.
movies that could very well have that fit in naturally. And I
Was-
haven't seen this either, so I can't say.
What was that thing that Gary and Chris Gore was saying? The head bump. Now they always have a head bump. They don't have like they said that in Alien. You know, with they don't kiss
Oh, yeah.
anymore. They have a
Oh,
head
yeah,
bump.
that's true. Alien Romulus had a lot of head bumps.
Bumps. Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we
Um,
Eskimos now?
Yes. Shall we move on?
Wrong.
Because we've got a lot of slides. Okay. Sony is very confident that Kraven the Hunter will be as successful as the Venom films.
Is
That
that
looks-
successful?
That looks like shit.
Yeah.
It really does.
Brown,
Oh,
you didn't
no.
warn me that I needed to put a towel down for this recording. I am so excited for Kraven just to see Aaron Taylor Johnson shirtless
He's
on
a
a
good looking
giant.
boy, isn't he?
That's it.
That
Yeah,
new
very.
trailer looks great. When I saw the original teaser earlier, I hated it. That we saw the trailer in front of Deadpool, and I was impressed. I was like, "Wow, they might actually have something here."
You know what's
Yeah,
a
but
shame though? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go, Vex.
No,
You
go
start.
Vex.
I was just gonna say the new trailer. Yeah, it looks a whole lot better. But now I have a feeling that between the first trailer and this one, every action sequence in the film has been effectively spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It
every
still looks a
trailer.
bit too gritty for me, but
But why are they turning the villains from Spider-Man into heroes?
Because that's all
Sony
that
can.
Sony has the rights to now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see a Spider-Man film without Spider-Man.
Well, this
Yeah,
will probably be a setup so that he could fight Spider-Man in
yeah.
the sequel.
Having a movie about one of Spider-Man's main villains without Spider-Man is like having a birthday party, but forgetting to invite the birthday
the
person.
birthday party.
All the guests show up, but everybody's wondering where the fun is. You know?
Yeah.
I think the whole movie is going to be about Kraven wondering why his father was hunting something in the Amazon right before he died.
He was
You know.
researching lions, radioactive
Yes.
lions.
Yes.
in the
Here you go,
Amazon.
folks. Side effect legend wrenched. Kraven will be dog wank. Shirtless. ATJ and CGI blood does not good film make.
What do you say? This is going to be Madam Web level quality. You are going to see something incredible on the screen, and we're all going to have a great
It's going
laugh.
to be amazing.
I
Okay.
hope that they
still-
drop the line, "It's Kraven time." Like,
Yep.
I still
God, that'll
can't
make
see
my
this
day.
guy as Bond though. Maybe he might make a good Bond. I
Did you
don't
watch
know.
Bullet Train at all? I feel like we
I
have this
did.
conversation.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Seen it.
he was talking like he came out of the Sweeney for go. Oh, everybody, you know what I mean?
Doesn't care.
That's not
It-
Bond.
It
That's not
totally worked. It did justice for me as a lady. Totally could be Bond.
That's all that matters. Let's
Exactly.
bit of a sidestep. Do you know, I can't read that. Anybody read that? Because I'm just going blind.
Sure. Okay. The delays for Kraven allowed for reshoots to take place to sharpen the characters and tighten the plot. Sony is so
Sharpen.
happy with the film that they are working with J.C. Chander again on a murder mystery film inspired by Succession.
Is he the writer or
No
the
clue.
director? Who
No
is
clue.
Chandor?
Oh, I think he is the
I
director.
assume
Sorry.
he's the director,
He is the
yeah.
director.
What is when they say Sony's happy with it? Who are they talking about? Some execs that don't know a film from their elbow.
Pretty
Yeah,
Do you know what I
probably
mean? It's
the,
just
the
bollocks.
board.
What? Yeah. I don't know.
Well, they make
Really
CD
bollocks.
players, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
And TVs.
The Discman.
Well, if
And
it's
the
a hit,
Walkman.
Kevin Feige will step in and take credit
Yeah.
for everything.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Aren't the two comments a bit of a contradiction? So one is Sony is happy with the film, and the other is they've
Reshoots.
allowed for reshoots
was-
to take place. Like,
It was
what's-
it was delayed and needed reshoots. Yeah,
Sony was happy with Madam
were.
Web too.
they were.
Isn't Kraven Hunter meant to be Russian? Was he meant to be Russian?
Yes.
Yes.
And Russell Crowe, his father, has the thick,
my God.
heavy Russian accent, but no one else does in the trailer.
He sounds so awful. I think
He
Russell
does.
Crowe's given up on acting recently. He made two bad exorcism
Was-
films back to back.
Was Kraven the Hunter part of the Sinister Six? I can't remember now. Sinister
sure.
Six is, which is basically the villains that took on Spider-Man, right? So you had Doctor Octopus, you had
Oh,
Okay.
yes, they were, because there was originally a plan to make
Yeah.
a Sinister Six
Yeah.
film at Sony. Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Go,
Yeah.
Princess Fair and Wrenched. Henri Cavill should have played Kraven.
No.
It's a flood either way, Fiona. Flood either way. Hmm.
Okay. Here you go. Oops, sorry, chat moved up. Phil Fedora. Russell doesn't give a shit anymore. Yeah, give me the money. Just don't give a toss to zip. But anyway, let's.
Cares
I think
about
it's a sidestep.
donuts.
And just some new posters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bleh. I'm not bothered.
In
I'll give this one a
theatres.
miss. I'll give it a miss.
December
I know.
13th.
Vex won't be giving it a miss, that's for sure.
That's the week my birthday is, so I'll
Oh,
treat
get
myself to some
in.
Kraven. Yeah.
Kraven.
I have to see more footage before I decide if I'm going to watch it.
No, we don't need to see more footage.
Yeah.
That's part of the whole
We're
movie.
gonna.
Vex, your
Okay.
plumbing and my plumbing are very different.
Okay. Let's move along. Okay. Paramount TV Studios shutting down amid major restructuring layoffs.
And
What
nothing
else
of
is new?
value was lost.
Yeah, what else is new?
Actually, all of the basically everything that was under production with Paramount TV Studios has now gone to CBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're shutting down the studios. They're eliminating a lot of positions, but a lot of the productions didn't disappear. They just shifted them around.
Who's that bloke in the picture?
It's Michael Bay.
Oh, that's the head of Paramount TV. I can't remember her name.
Is she gone now?
Michelle Bay.
Yeah, she's gone.
Yeah, she'll be.
So they've moved Star Trek to CBS now then.
See, it was always at CBS.
Okay.
All of those Star Trek productions that have been done under Secret Hideout were all at CBS. Yeah, I was talking with Price of Reason earlier this week about a lot of these moves and changes, and so
Yeah, apparently it's going to take years of just paperwork and whatever. Just to get all the licenses sorted out.
And right now they're already doing this as part of this restructuring and everything, this merger with Skydance. But there's apparently their options that they have open, the go shop period that they had of 45 days for this merger to happen is still open, and now there's another group that's potentially coming in to put a bid out there for Paramount. So
Sounds
I don't
like a
know.
mess.
We'll have to wait and see if something happens, but yeah, that go shop period lasts for 4 more days, I think. So if it was, who was it? It was Edgar Bronfman, is the guy that owns Seagram's Liquor.
Oh, I like him.
he and a couple of other people are putting together an offer, I guess. But again, it has to be tendered in the next few days, or else it's not.
Paramount is a very special name in my book.
What has Paramount got though now? I mean,
Star Trek.
Yeah, they've only got the movie rights, haven't they? Star Trek movie rights. Is it?
And television, yeah.
You just said
coming out CBS,
but the CBS studios were the ones producing it, so yeah.
They also have all the Yellowstone stuff and the Sonic stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we've got super chats, everybody. Mega Spider-Man wrenched €5. What are your favourite Michael Douglas films and why? Have you ever seen AI?
I only saw AI a couple of weeks ago.
I've seen AI a couple times.
I saw it in the cinema, and I saw it again.
Ago.
And I saw it again, and you know what? Right when I first saw it, I didn't like it at all. But the second time I saw it, I realised it's a bloody masterpiece of filmmaking.
It is.
It really is.
The first half is amazing world building.
Yeah, it does go on longer. But do you know, a lot of people accuse Spielberg of turning it into a Spielberg movie, but Spielberg actually came out and said all that stuff in the film was definitely Stanley Kubrick's idea. The teddy bear was Stanley Kubrick's idea. That's the reason why he gave it to Spielberg, because he said it was more, what he wrote was more of a Spielberg film than his film. That's why he asked Spielberg to direct it. So, and Spielberg wasn't responsible for that stupid teddy bear, let me tell you.
I thought that Kubrick's I thought that Kubrick's wife asked Spielberg to direct it right after he passed, no?
and him. But when he was alive, he asked Spielberg as well.
Oh, okay, so,
his wife.
To answer the first question, favorite Michael Douglas film, mine was Basic Instinct growing up for reasons.
Oh, really? Oh,
wow. Wouldn't have anything to do with beavers, would it?
Wow.
Possibly. No comment.
Oh gosh, I would have to say either Wall Street or Falling Down. One of those two.
Oh really?
Falling Down is great.
Yeah,
I love Falling Down.
Falling Down is top of the list, I think.
Romancing the Stone.
Romancing the Stone.
Oh, that is good. Yeah, Romancing the Stone is quite good.
Romancing the Stone. I love that. I love his character in Romancing the Stone. Really do. And Wall Street is
Fatal
brilliant.
Attraction was all right. Yeah.
The Game, that was quite good.
Yeah, that was not bad. They don't make movies like Romancing the Stone anymore.
No, they don't, because
No.
it involves one straight white guy and one straight female.
And on that bombshell, let's move on.
There you go.
Oh, look at that!
No.
Jeez.
Rings of Power, new poster. Look at that, everybody.
Not interested in this
Just
crap.
Make it go away.
Look at that.
Move along.
Burn
Who's
it.
looking forward to this.
Burn it with fire.
No
Season 2 of the most expensive intersectionality inspired fan fiction. For a show that despises everything about Tolkien, I just want to see the show burn. Just burn.
So Brown, I'm confused. You didn't put up the little in the bin slide before this one.
Before this, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't because I know that Rennie is looking forward to Rings of Power.
I hope he doesn't put that crown on upside
Wait,
down. That's all I can
unironically
say.
or ironically?
Yeah, in the same way that you were
was
looking
thinking
forward
this.
to the Acolyte, or
That was a great show, that was.
I bet there's going to be a scene where he puts the helmet on and says, "I am the real Lord of the Ring."
Is that a crown, really?
No, he's just
You know-
pleased to see you.
I didn't watch any of season
Nor
1.
did I.
I hadn't
Well
seen any of the trailers for even season 1.
Well
And
done.
now that Prime has the ads at the beginning, I saw a trailer for this, and I was actually insanely shocked that it was Lord of the Rings related because it just came off as fantasy fan fiction.
Oh, it's
I
it's
yeah.
dreadful.
I didn't get any Lord of the Rings vibes from it whatsoever. So, wow, I get what all the hate is about.
Yeah.
Is that Sean Bean?
No, it's not.
No, he wouldn't be seen dead.
He
in
probably
that way.
dies, but it's not Sean
yeah,
Bean. Yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes of the first season. I could not watch any further. It was terrible.
You know
Just
what,
terrible.
folks? 11 days.
Mhm.
that's the day after my birthday. I'll get my hangover on for this.
Who cares? Who cares? Who cares?
Okay, let's move on.
I'll just rewatch Clarkson's Farm.
What's this? Guy Ritchie's Gentleman's Ready for Season. Do you know what, right? Everybody kept saying to me, this is a really good show. You should
Gary,
watch it. And I watched the first episode and I was like, it was all
It's shit?
right. No, it wasn't. It wasn't shit.
Oh, okay.
It was just, do you know what, right? It works, right? But it was just, I found it a bit of a slog to watch. But do you know, Guy Ritchie is definitely, this show is definitely on Guy Ritchie is quite wealthy. He's wealthy now. But he grew up in Oxford and he went to Oxford and he went to Cambridge or wherever he went. And this is all about that. When he was doing the Mockney thing, he was out of his depth because he was making everything up as he went along. But this, I think he knows this world very well because he grew up in this world. So there you go. But
Question.
it's dull. It's dull. I found it dull. It was all right. Sorry. go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. Is this based off of the movie of the same
Yes.
name?
Yeah. Apparently.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I like the movie.
I actually started watching it last night, but then I fell asleep, so I'm going to continue
So
watching it later.
Decent.
Blake, it's okay. I just wasn't bowled over by it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying it was shit. It's not, right? It is enjoyable, but it was typical Guy Ritchie, right? You
I
knew
like
what was going to happen, do you know? So even the ending of the first episode, I knew what was going to happen.
Rock and Roller was good
So
as
there
well.
you
But
go.
that, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Perhaps I think I've got the episodes on my computer. I've just never watched them.
You know what? I saw the first episode, and I was thinking to myself, well, when I get time, I'll watch the second episode. Do you know what I mean? So I wasn't bowled over by it. Put it that way.
Oh, I think Cider Feet nailed it in the chat there.
Cider Feeds, a legend, wrenched Guy Ritchie, the Jamie Oliver of film.
Wow.
Jesus.
That's harsh.
That's
Okay, and on that, let's move on.
Oh no, I'm not interested in this at all.
The Penguin will
Why?
premiere on September 19 or at 9 p.m. ET on HBO. Subsequent episodes premiere Sundays. Blah blah blah
But
blah blah.
why though? This
Anyone
is a villain. This is a villain again. Why are we making the villains, giving them their own TV show and turning them into heroes? I'm pretty
Well,
sure
it's
he's going to be
it's-
decent in this. Come on.
Maggie,
all
it's
part of the
it's
plan.
it's all about making these characters morally and or just in something as morally relative. It's like, well, it's okay that, oh, he's a villain, but here's all of the motivation, the
Yeah.
things that made him a villain, whatever. But that means that it's okay that they're a villain because
Exactly.
it's all about moral relativism and trying to
It
reinforce that in
certainly
culture.
does seem like the plan, and it's baffling to me, as just an audience member. But yeah, there's so much of it now. It's like,
Does
Yeah,
it
it's
take
everywhere.
place in Antarctica, Wayfarer?
Good question.
No, it
Right.
takes
I-
place in.
I'm just confused because I thought the penguin was a woman now.
I made
Really?
that joke about 10 minutes ago.
I thought so. I thought
shot
so.
on
too.
location at the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
You know what? I know you guys are all shitting on it. I will say this. I do like the direction Colin Farrell's career has taken since his heyday. I think he's really come out into his own as an actor. So I'll give the first episode a shot for that. But otherwise, I don't care about this Matt Reeves Batman universe whatsoever.
What
No.
was the
Yeah.
Apple program you liked, Vex?
Sugar.
Sugar. Was it good? Yes, Sugar.
I quite enjoyed Sugar for it was finally an Apple production that actually had some unique style to it. So yes,
It
I
was.
like
It was very sweet. Yes.
So we talked about this on my podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I thought that the Batman movie was fine, and Colin Farrell's Penguin worked well as a side character, but I'm not sure if you can carry a whole show as a lead. I think its intention is to bridge what happens between the first and second film, because at the end of the first film, everything is in Gotham City has been flooded, and he's a penguin, so he thrives in this sort of chaos and water. But yeah, we'll
and
see.
the penguins.
You like what I did there?
To be fair, it's because I had the same thought too, but then I watched Sugar and he can 100% carry a
He's
show.
a good actor. He's a good. Have
Yeah.
you seen him in those Irish films? The what is it? The In Bruges and the other one that he
Oh,
made
yes,
recently.
Bruges.
He's a great. He's a good actor. He's actually
He is.
because he in the old when he first started, he used to sleep around and do all kinds of nonsense. He did the Hollywood thing. Now he's more
Mhm.
stable. He's concentrating on his career now, and he's a very, very good actor. In fact, I'll go as far as say he's a brilliant actor. But
Yeah.
giving him something like this is just a waste of everyone's time. It
Well, let's
really
see what
is.
he does with it, right? Let's see what he does.
What
with
else?
it.
What else are you going to do with the penguin?
Calm down, Ian. It's okay.
What else are you going to do with the penguin? What else are you going to do with the penguin? He's going to
Turn
kill
him into a
people.
woman.
He's going to do all that nonsense. It's the same thing.
He's gonna
What's
find
the
a penguin
point?
mate, and they're gonna mate for life. There you go. That's what he's just doing.
What's the hell?
Here you go, folks. Dr. E, aka Darren, like Drinker said, there's a raft of garbage in the pipeline that will take years to flush out.
I like your avatar, Dr. E.
It's very true.
I'd like to point out that everybody shat on X-Men 97, and it turned out to be surprisingly good, even though that was
And
also something nobody
on-
asked for.
Yep.
And that is
Sure,
just
they did.
one
Let's
out
move
of
on.
a drop in the ocean.
That's
That's what
I'll
it
give
is.
an episode a chance. That's all I'm saying. I'll give one
Yeah, yeah.
episode a chance.
Give it a shot.
Charlie Cox says his first scene with Deborah Ann Wall and Eden Henson, sorry folks, in Daredevil Born Again was really special because it was written like a scene where we were reminiscing over old times. There was really, literally, no acting required.
That's not a
Is
good
Deb-
quote.
Yeah, there was
It's
literally
not-
no acting required. Doesn't inspire much confidence.
Yeah.
But I think I get what he was trying to say. I
This
love
better be
Netflix's
good.
Yeah. Netflix's
Crazy.
Daredevil was brilliant, but
It
Marvel
was.
seemed to turn everything they touched to stone, so I don't have high hopes about
I
this.
like
Yeah.
everything about the original Daredevil except Foggy. I find him so incredibly distracting.
Oh, I
Um,
liked Foggy. I
So
thought he was
having
the-
him back is not a plus for me.
Oh, really? I thought he was the best iteration of Foggy, better than the guy who played Happy Hogan's version, and that effect, and the version in the Ben Affleck one as well. Actually, no, that was him, wasn't it? I kind of thought he was I liked him in the season one. I don't know about you guys, but I really thought he was very funny in season one.
If they want to bring back confidence, just put Deborah Ann Wall in lingerie. It worked in True Blood. She
Right.
looks phenomenal in lingerie. Oh my goodness.
A couple of super chats, folks. Common people wrenched £5. A fiver for Mega Geek to say penguin.
Penguin. Why? How did I say it? Common.
Penguin.
Penguin.
Yeah.
Penguin.
Penguin.
Princess Fiona Wrench, $2. Shout out for Bad Monkey on Apple TV. Great so far.
Oh, okay. I'll try it out. I'll try it out. Bad Monkey.
What is it? Black Crow or the one? What?
Which one are you
Blackbird?
talking about?
Yeah, Blackbird with Taron
Egerton.
Egerton.
Yep.
That was really good. That was
All
a
right.
good
I
one.
haven't seen that one.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really good.
Mm.
No. You can put that back up for a second.
I said
I wasn't
said
quite
penguin.
done.
I said penguin.
No, I meant Fiona's.
Oh, Fiona.
Yeah.
Fiona, why don't you come on, Fiona? Jeez.
Yeah.
She will at some point.
She better do.
Okay, let's move on because we've got loads of slides to go
Okay.
through, folks. Okay, I can never say. Vincent
D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio.
says Daredevil Born Again will go much further with the violence than the Netflix series. There is one thing in particular that my character does that I can't believe made it into the cut.
How comes he doesn't look fat anymore? He looks really thin there, doesn't he? Because the Kingpin's
That's
meant to be.
photoshopped.
Oh, maybe Kingpin's meant to be really big, isn't he? The Kingpin.
Look at his
Well,
hands.
he
They're
was
not
in
even
Daredevil.
real.
He was.
Yeah, he
huge in
was. Yeah, but he looks very thin there, doesn't he?
I
Well,
will
to-
say,
to-
Vincent D'Onofrio used to be kind of a punchline as an actor, but
Mm.
Yes.
his character here is just fantastic.
Well, he was until fucking Echo.
Until
They
Echo.
turned him into
Yeah.
a whining baby. He runs off at the end crying.
That
Like a
script was
bitch.
not his fault, though. I'm saying as an
No.
actor, though, he has
Oh,
come
yeah.
a long way.
Do you remember that scene? I think it was episode 2 when you first saw the Kingpin, and he was talking to that guy, and he puts that guy, and he crushes that guy's head with the car door.
Mhm.
I just thought that was horrible, but it was really well done. So I'm expecting a lot of that in this one. This better be good, Daredevil.
Yeah, they did not cut the scene where Kingpin is sending naked pictures of himself to some of his male co-workers. No, sorry.
So the issue I have with this comment is that there's so much more to a story than violence. It's something that
Yes.
Zack Snyder doesn't seem to understand in particular. And
Mm.
I don't think having any more graphic scenes of Kingpin will fix what Echo did to his character at all.
Well, the thing is though, if they have some extreme violence, the actual reasoning to actually get him to that point is what makes it horrible. Do you know what I mean? If they're just putting violence for violence sake, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
You can't unsee it. All right, shall we? Is it sidestep? Can't remember. No. Oh, yes. James Cameron confirms he actually plans to direct Avatar 4 and 5 rather than find a new director. Only if I get hit by a bus and I'm in an iron lung, someone else gets to do it.
How
He
is
didn't
this
say
news?
this. He
I
didn't
thought
say
they'd done it.
this.
I thought they'd done it.
He didn't say this. That's the
Okay.
thing. I mean, stupid discussing films, just making things up, or somebody's told him he said that. There's no
Yeah,
way
he was always
James
gonna
Cameron's going to
direct-
say this.
He was
Well,
always going to direct Avatar, all of them.
Yeah. He said that 10 years ago. After the
Yeah,
first
Yeah.
episode.
this is not news.
It's not
Okay,
news.
let's move on then. Oh.
I'll be back.
James Cameron reveals he is working on a new Terminator project.
Please don't.
It's
Yeah.
totally classified.
He talked about it. He said it was going to include AI and stuff like that in the new
Well,
version.
it's going to be without guns because he doesn't want to exploit gun usage in films
Yeah.
anymore.
And it's going to be
And
really
he-
pro-woman because he's really into the pro-feminism thing now.
Terminator Dark Fate was him, not Tim Miller. Like, he was
Yep.
pretty much in charge of everything there. So I don't
Was
want to
it?
see another one of his films. Cameron, I said this earlier, but Cameron's like Ridley Scott, made some bangers right out of the gate while working under constrained budgets, which forced him to be really creative without being wasteful. But the longer his career has gone on and the more money he's had to make a film, the worse the end product seems to get.
Yeah, it's just getting embarrassing. It really is.
On a similar note, though, the Terminator animated series comes out next week. Is
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it.
Yeah,
Looks good.
it does look interesting. The animation style is really good. It looks sharp. I'm interested to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
This is the
Do you
first I'm
remember-
hearing of it. I'm down.
Do you remember the TV show that they did? The Terminator.
Sarah
Chronicles.
Chronicles.
Yeah, I
Connor
thought
Cron-
that was really good. I was really upset when
That
they
was fun.
cancelled it. And it was.
Mhm.
I love the idea of Cameron. I love the idea that he's still in college and had to move from city to city. And she was, do you know what I mean? Why didn't they do that as sequels rather than just keep bringing back Arnie all the time?
Because you wish
and
it?
stuff like that. I don't know. Anyway.
All right, okay. Didn't they kill Terminator off completely with Derp Fate?
Who cares?
I
That
thought
was
they
the
did,
end,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Mhm.
They kill him off in every film. He's always brought back.
Okay.
I thought they killed the franchise with Rise of the Machines. So
Yeah,
Really?
the
Okay,
third
that's
one was
interesting.
dreadful.
it was so
I-
awful.
I would watch more content if it was in the time period of the humans fighting the machines, like on the ground.
That's what you
like,
need, yeah.
a
They did
weekly
that
show
already.
Of that, did they do it right though?
Yeah, that was the best part of Terminator Salvation. I really enjoyed the war, which
Oh,
was
good
foreshadowed
for
throughout the entire
you.
series.
Okay, let's proceed. New Halloween games are heading our way with John Carpenter involved. Wow.
Okay. Honestly, just please don't.
No,
Every time
no.
Yeah, every time they take one of these 70s, 80s, classic horror films and turn it into a video game, it's just a hunter prey situation, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you can do with Michael Myers in a game. In all honesty, So just why? Just don't even bother.
Yeah, the original Michael Myers is just a force of nature. It's not even a real character. It's just a thing.
It finished with one for me. I like the second one was okay, but
I like the third one on its own.
See
Part three
what they
on its own is kind of entertaining.
what they need to do with this game, Vex. What they need to do is make
Not
it
make
like
it.
they need to make it like Hitman,
Mm.
They're not going
Where-
to do that. That
where you
involves
have
too
to
much
you have to
creativity.
set up really elaborate,
Traps.
wild
Yeah.
traps and kills and stuff like that to make it happen. That would be the only way they could do this that I think would be fun.
Wait a moment. Is the third one that's with that stupid song?
Silver Shamrock.
Season of the Witch. Yeah,
That
I
was
hated
awful. That
Hated
one.
it. Yeah, I hated
It's
it.
a good awful.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was okay. Didn't it not have that guy from The Howling? He was the main star, wasn't he? In it.
He had the bloke from Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Tom,
He was in
what's his
Howling.
face?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one who got the eggnog bullet.
That's it. Yeah. It
Yeah,
was
I
all
don't-
right.
I don't see it as part of the Michael Myers canon at all. I just
No.
like it as its own goofy
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Who's this?
Mission to bring the Olympic flag to LA. You choose to accept it, Tom Cruise.
Oh, fuck off.
Whatever.
Seriously. Seriously.
Apparently, he's the only actor who's ever touched the Hollywood sign
Legally touched. the
legally.
Hollywood.
I touched the Hollywood sign when I was there 10 years
But
ago.
illegally though.
You want to impress me, Tom Cruise? Bring the Olympic torch on a plane.
Yeah. So it's Los Angeles, a town where everybody's been is
Fentanyl
deserting.
town, yeah.
Like all the short stores are closing down, actors are abandoning it. They're gonna have the Olympics there.
Well, the
Oh,
Olympics.
yeah, hell, I know people who've told me directly that they are fleeing before the Olympics show up.
Oh,
It
wow.
won't be good for the city.
Johnny Lawrence's mum wrenched oot and gas.
Sweep the leg, sweep the leg. That's all I can
Okay.
say.
That
Let's move
city's
on.
infrastructure is in no shape to handle the Olympics.
Okay, we'll blast through these. Huge news. Norway is rejecting the cashless agenda. The new law will force shops to accept physical cash. Yeah.
Good for
That's a
you.
good idea.
Well
Yes.
done.
Cash is
The-
king, everybody keeps saying it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is absolutely necessary. You have to be able to have that. And we've already seen what happens when we're investing everything in this cashless and digital currencies. Governments can just decide to take it from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Canada,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
too far over here, folks. But
Do
anyway.
you want to keep your life savings in the cloud? No, I don't either. But that's how it's shaping up.
I
don't know
quite
if
fancy a move to Norway. I don't know about you folks.
for the
I'm
winter.
in. I'm in.
Just for everything. Vex? I interrupted.
know. No, you're good. I was just gonna say, I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but whenever I want to go take out cash that is in an excess of $200 in Canada, I have to get it approved first by the bank.
Oof.
Whoa, no, that is not the process here in the U.S.
Well, our
Your
ATMs are
money.
usually limited to a
ATMs,
400
yeah.
or
Oh
less.
no, even if I go to the cashier, like the teller or whatever, they have to go through a whole approval process for it.
It's your money.
Yeah, it's your
It's my
money.
money, yeah.
Amazing.
You think it's your money? It ain't.
It is at the moment. Anyway, shall we move on?
Well, oh, hello.
This was the biggie that dropped this week. In a
This is
2-month
crazy.
in a 2-month period in 2023, Matthew Perry's doctors and living assistant worked to distribute approximately 20 vials of Ket to Perry in exchange for $55,000. Is this
this whole
allegedly, or is it true?
Well, right now it has not been actually like it hasn't been shown in court or anything
So
like
it's
that. But
allegedly,
there were 5 arrests this week. 5 different people were arrested in the case of Matthew Perry's death, including some doctors, including some supposed friends. We again, this is another thing I talked about with Price earlier this week.
Oh, we go.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, some of them have already pled guilty. But yeah, their doctors were prescribing this. He had friends, some guys, basically dealers, that brought like 50 vials of this
That is
stuff
a lot of Ket.
to 50 vials of it. And apparently there's some evidence, again, haven't seen this in court yet, but some evidence of some conversations between the dealer and another person saying, oh, we're going to go and unload this stuff on him because he's rich and he's dumb.
Yeah, just
And
for
he's an addict.
perspective, a friend told me that a vial should be about 50 to 100.
Okay, on that bombshell, we'll leave it at that. Jesus. I don't know if this is true. It says here, man steals 122 million from Facebook and Google by simply sending them random bills,
Hold
which
on.
they paid.
You said I don't know this is true, so you didn't fact check the news before you put it in the slideshow?
Okay, so I have
Normally
seen
do,
this.
but I never got around to this one.
I have seen this story elsewhere, so we'll say it. Specifically, I was able real quickly to find it on NPR.
It is the internet, so it's true.
So I'm assuming that yes, this has been vetted by somebody. It was a Lithuanian man who pled guilty to getting money out of Google and Facebook, over 100 million, in a scheme that involved him sending fake bills, invoices, and stuff through email and through the mail to these.
That's almost
companies.
enough for a succulent Chinese meal.
No.
That's it's very clever though that he did.
Yeah, I
that.
applaud his efforts.
Yeah.
It's only an L because he got caught. Otherwise,
Yeah.
really brilliant.
If Google and Facebook are so frivolous,
Well, it just proves that they didn't even notice the money was missing until it hit 122 million.
unbelievable. He got greedy, but anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
Isn't this oh sorry, I was just gonna
No,
say,
go on.
wasn't it the plot from Office Space?
Yeah. Well, they
That
stole-
was from
They-
Superman 3,
well,
actually.
no,
Okay.
yeah, Superman 3 stole it from Office Space, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
But it was just all the one
All the fractional.
pins and,
The rounded off pennies, yeah.
So
Yeah.
there you go. Melvin Deeply wrenched. Hello, Melvin. Why not quit at a few million? Yeah. What's wrong with people not knowing when to walk away?
Oh,
Well,
the criminals never do. Yeah.
It's
Well,
the
maybe
same.
it was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's the same principle as gambling. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
Yeah.
Once
Addiction,
the money
folks.
starts coming in, they don't know how to
Good.
stop.
Addiction.
You've got to
Can't
be
even-
careful with the emails that you get these days, because some of them say, oh yeah, Google has told you this, and oh, you've got your post in the post office. You got to come and collect. You have to pay.
Ignore it all.
Yeah, and all that stuff.
Oh,
You've
God.
got to be careful of all that
Well,
stuff.
and that's going to get so much. I'm assuming you've heard this story recently. There was a company that is used by private investigators to do background checks. And their database was stolen. Several billion people now have their names, government IDs, like in America, your social security number,
yeah, this is a big thing.
addresses, everything. And that was Canada, US, UK, and a couple of other countries that had that data. And all of that is just now on the internet.
Wow.
So,
And that
yeah,
bombshell.
those
as we
types
want.
of schemes are going to get much worse.
Okay, we'll quickly just blast through all this stuff. Elon Musk got an EU disinformation warning before rambling with Donald Trump last week on X.
Can someone tell me what that means?
So basically what they're saying is, so all of these social media platforms have to adhere to certain like digital laws or
Standards.
whatever in each country or whatever, and they were saying that this was like basically dangerous and promoted disinformation. I can't remember which guy it was from the EU, but he sent a letter to Elon Musk, and there's also a full lawsuit filing that you can find online as well that they're trying to push in terms of upholding this. But I don't know how the digital and social media laws, it seems, because allegedly 1 billion people listened to that or had interactions with that.
There's
Yeah,
stats
over a
in there,
billion.
yeah.
Yeah, over 1 billion. And so that means that that's 3 times the population of the US. So
They've got to prove that what they're saying is wrong information,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
How are they going to
So
do that?
that's, again, there's so many ifs and buts and gray areas. So I don't know how they can actually
Yeah, the
follow through
preemptive
with
strike is the problem here.
Yeah. Here's what I can quote part of the letter. There is a risk of amplification of potentially harmful
There you go,
content
Breton.
in connection with events with major audience around the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was said in this preemptive disinformation warning. Yeah, it's absurd.
Guilty until proven innocent.
Yep.
I think he even posted did he post the picture of the certificate or the letter?
He did.
He posted I think he responded to the letter. If I
He
remember.
he responded very forcefully to the letter that was expletive filled, I believe would be the right way to put
You
it.
see that interview with him with the BBC guy, and the BBC guy was talking a load of bollocks, and he was saying, about.
Yeah, annihilated him.
You see that
right?
one? He just
Yeah.
annihilated him.
The big
Totally
guys like,
annihilated.
we've seen a rise of hate speech on Twitter, and
Oh, that
Elon
was
was just like,
hilarious.
"Oh, show me an example." It's like, "Oh, that's not what we're here for." And then Elon starts flipping it onto him,
No.
and it's just like, "What about this
I
information
saw
that
that,
the BBC has
yeah.
posted?" And he's just like, "We're not here to talk about the BBC." And Elon's response is, "Oh, you thought we weren't?"
There you go, folks. Wrenched. Legacy media hated this. They are looking up at the sky like dinosaurs watching the comet approaching.
It's just going to get worse, though, isn't it? And so obvious what they're doing. They're trying to take away free speech and trying to implement, their crazy logic into the world. So,
Okay. So there is some stats. I'll just leave those up for a few seconds. Surprisingly, only 1% over 54.
I think
Does
that's just
anyone
over
humor acting.
54
That's all.
Yeah, it seems
Okay.
like a good demographic for Twitter.
Yep.
25 to 34, 70% watched.
They're worried about that demographic.
Hmm.
A lot.
so do you reckon Trump's going to win then? Anyone?
I
The
don't know.
establishment will let him win. They need him to win for now, so they can get things back on the track they want it to go. Let's be honest. No, not even the establishment wants to back Kamala Harris, so they'll let Trump
1%
win
is
this one.
brilliant.
So yeah, oh boy, and just wait for this coming week. We have the Democratic National Convention coming this week, and there are already numerous groups talking about how they are going to have encampments, mostly peaceful protests, you name it, outside the DNC. And these are people who are supposedly on that side of the political spectrum, but they're going to show up and
Will
trash.
they be singing Kumbaya?
Oh yes, I'm sure. Yeah, they're going to be sitting around, just having a great time. Mostly peaceful. Mostly peaceful.
Well, I think history teaches us that the protest is officially no longer a form in America. I mean, they'll shove them off into chain link boxes and whatever else they need to do to get them out of the camera range. So
Vex,
Did you
was going
guys?
to say.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, did you see what the DNC convention in Chicago is offering?
Oh yes, yes, I saw that
Yeah,
today.
free
All of those
vasectomies and
appointments.
abortions.
what's that?
They're offering free vasectomies and abortions for all of those who attend and support the DNC.
What?
But if you
Wow.
happen to be in the area and would like to take advantage of those, all of the appointments are already gone.
Wow.
They're already completely booked. Free vasectomies, free.
Christ.
Well, if they
And-
offer dental
Yeah.
work, I'll be heading to Chicago.
To top it off, it's taking place in a predominantly Black and Hispanic area.
Chicago.
Yep.
On that bombshell, let's move on.
Oh, get in the bin.
It's
Spend time.
Do we like the red grass, by the way?
I do, yeah, a lot actually.
It's like Ellie. What's his name? The guy who directed the Aliens film.
that
Lit
looks
this
like
bit.
my mom's old shag carpet.
No, it's not Greta. She's been surprisingly quiet last few months.
How dare you?
No, got through. No.
No.
Is it Lizzo?
No.
Please,
Liz,
no.
Liz is too big.
Why
Permanently in the
red?
bin.
Why red? Because it's Freddie Alvarez, whatever his name is.
Because it's
Lighting.
commie grass.
Freddie Alvarez.
Freddie Alvarez.
Okay.
Lighting. That's what it is.
Okay, this week's in the bin, folks.
Not Star Wars, please. Please, not Star Wars.
Not Star
Good night,
Wars.
everybody. Take care. See you next week.
Go on in. Oh, Mark Hamill.
Oh, jeez.
It was going to be something else, more kind of risque, but I thought we'll put this.
Nothing's more bin than this.
Yeah.
There's not a single actor
Jeez.
live today. I would pay $400 to $700 for an autograph. Mark Hamill is in. Is it Fan Expo in? Where is it? Chicago? Is it?
Don't
Not
know.
sure.
Anyway.
But, God, what happened to Mark Hamill? The first time I met him, he was such a nice chap, and he was happy, and he was. Oh, God, what's happened to him?
He's old
Really?
man yells at cloud now. That's all it is.
It's all that green milk he's been drinking, I think.
Yeah, the
blue,
titty
isn't
milk
it?
was- yeah, the titty
Blue
milk
milk.
did him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also said, if you support MAGA, you can go force yourself, I think was a quote from the same.
Oh,
Yeah.
convention.
Yeah.
Here you go,
He's-
folks. Simlex wrenched. Okay. I did pay about £250 for Mark Hamill's photo and autograph.
I'll need my inflatable back now, Smilex. You don't get that anymore.
It's worth about
Yeah.
700 now, Smilex. Get that on eBay.
Yeah,
With
the
inflation, yes.
most I've ever paid for any kind of meet and greet or anything like that was about 200. So
Who was
I-
that?
I've never done it.
pretty sure that was Shatner. I think was the two.
Whoa.
I've never done it.
Shatner deserves it, yeah.
But that was a meet and greet. That wasn't just here, sign something. Like
I
When-
remember
yeah.
the first time I was asked to pay for an autograph, and I was shocked.
Was you?
It was Barbara's.
No, it was Conrad Brooks from Plan 9 from Outer Space. He wanted $20. And I was
you
like,
pay it?
$20? I talked him down. He gave me a videotape with it, so I gave him the 20.
You know what? When I used to go to these things, they didn't used to charge anything. They were just
No,
so happy
that's
to
what I'm
see
saying.
you.
I was
Yeah,
shocked.
Chicago,
when someone
yeah,
asked
it's
for
in
money.
Chicago. So.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah,
Just
so
on a
listen,
side, sorry, just on a side note, do you realize that Short Round, the guy who played Short Round, was the stunt arranger on the first X-Men movie?
Really?
Really?
Yes, he was. Yes, and there's a picture of him and Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I had a
Hugh Jackman's stunt.
Yeah,
man.
I think I had a slide last week or the week before.
Wow,
which
I
didn't
thought
use.
that was
Yeah.
crazy, right?
That's wild.
Yeah.
I got Adam West's autograph when I was a kid at a car show, and I got a free glossy with it.
Oh, I
Here
like
you go,
Adam West.
folks. Oh, sorry, chat moved up. Not Brian, wrenched. I had Hamill's autograph on a Master Replicas EP4 lightsaber.
Wow.
Sold it.
Yeah. I've still
Well,
got his autograph in
jeez.
my Marvel book, Marvel adaptation of Empire Strikes Back. I've still got it. Mark Hamill. There you go.
I can't believe that any convention wouldn't pay Mark Hamill enough to be there that he needs
Paid
to
to
do
go away.
this. I mean, even like, YouTubers and Twitch people get paid and put up and transportation to show up at their conventions. This is sad. It's really
But you
sad.
Well,
know
he doesn't
what?
have much of a career.
Yeah.
Right? Apart
Well,
from
Yeah.
voicing Joker
Sure.
in the animated films. And
Well, did he
games and
spend
stuff.
it all already? The man's been working for 40 years, like 50
But
years.
But again, right? It's a real shame, right? I mean, maybe he deserves it. I mean, he's I know loads. Like I consider myself a mega geek, right? But there are people out there that would just pay that money.
But it's
Just
not
to
that
get
he
involved.
doesn't deserve the money, because he's done great work his whole life.
Yeah.
But do you need to extract it from street level fans like this?
Well, the thing is, he's got to live too. I guess I don't know whether this is right or wrong. I'm going on the wrong side. I'm going this is wrong, but you can never tell what kind of life he's had. Maybe he needs the money. We don't know, and if he does, then he's got to do what he's got to do, right?
It's not the responsibility of the fans to subsidize his life, right?
Right. How much
Mhm.
money have we spent on Mark Hamill's likeness in Star Wars? Like, I feel like we paid our dues.
That's
There you go,
well,
folks.
true, I guess.
Mega Spider-Man wrenched at Mr. Brown Lines me. What was the risque topic? I think it was something medical that's not.
Oh, is it the
appropriate.
butt stuff that's happening lately?
Mm.
No, I think it was something worse than that.
Tell us more about your butt stuff, X.
But anyway, so is he worthy being in the bin this week?
Yeah,
That's
I don't know.
excessive. I'm sorry. You can say what whatever. Yeah, he's done a lot of great work. Whatever. This is excessive. An
There
8x10 is $400. I mean, I'm just absurd.
There
It's
is a
absurd.
chance. There is a chance that it's his handlers doing this,
Yeah, maybe.
and he may not be as involved in the process as he should be.
He has the final sign off, though.
Taking the piss in my
I
Wait,
hope
opinion.
so.
Just going off on a side note slightly, has anybody ever seen that film called The Last Movie Star with Burt Reynolds?
No.
No.
So that film was based on kind of like a true story that happened to Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds was invited to this when he was a lot older, obviously, to this convention, and it was a really bad convention. It was like in a crappy hotel. They put him in his crappy hotel, whatever. But at the end of the day, he became really grateful to all these people that liked his films. And this is what Mark Hamill should be grateful. He shouldn't be charging really 400, 500, 700, because we're just grateful that he's Luke Skywalker. Do you know what I mean?
There you go, folks.
Question.
I do. Go on.
Yeah,
Oh,
go on.
sorry. Oh, doesn't Gina Carano charge like $100 or $200 for signature and
So,
stuff too?
That doesn't feel as bad knowing what happened to her, though. Like, for some reason in my mind, it's kind of a weighted thing. Like, Gina
So
got
is it?
screwed.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here a little bit,
Sure,
right?
sure.
I'm just saying, like, Mark Hamill is basically hated by everyone these days because he is a bit of a fool, but Gina is loved because crap
Biden
happened to her,
likes
right?
him.
Well,
Right,
I don't think it's a partisan thing. I wish Mark would stop talking about politics. I really do.
Mhm.
For everyone's good.
Yeah, Mark, just be grateful. Anyway, it's in the
I'm
bin,
just-
anybody.
It's it's the same situation you're basically seeing though, but one person we just don't like because of what they do and say, the other one we stand by. So couldn't
Well,
it be argued that
But
all
again,
of this is very silly?
$150 is
Yeah.
way different than $400.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
so
And,
if you,
essentially-
700 as well.
if you're going to pay that amount of money, you're an idiot. So
Well,
if
Gina
only
doesn't
idiots
have-
can pay this amount of money, right?
Gina doesn't have the legacy to lean on that Mark Hamill
Exactly.
does.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
So-
saying is, can't the convention, pay Mark not to do this? Like, it's crazy.
I don't think the convention has any say in how much he wants to charge, to be fair.
Do you
They're
reckon?
just
Well,
excited
they
he'll go up there,
probably
right?
don't.
Because he's an attraction.
Do you reckon? they
No,
get
but
a
if
percentage
he
of
needs
this?
the money, the conventions
the
have
money.
more than enough money to pay him to appear. And I know this for a fact because I've worked at like 40 different conventions. They make a ton of money on these things. So, is this his personal choice? Is it his handlers? Is it, does he really need the money like
Can
this?
I ask you a question? Right, since you worked in conventions, when you
Yeah.
go up to Mark Hamill, do you actually give the money to him in cash in his hand, or
You give it to
what?
his assistants in the booth.
I see. Okay.
When you come up to a certain point in the queue, they say, "What do you want?" And they
Jeez.
hand you the photo or the book or whatever. And
I
you pay
see.
them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you get down to
Unbelievable.
mark, and you get 60 seconds or 30 seconds.
Can you not grab the photograph? So they take the money off you before you even get to him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Long
wow.
before you get to
That's
him, yeah.
terrible. Yeah.
Wayfarer is doing his earworms after Link there,
Yeah,
folks.
please
after
join
this.
us. Lawrence and
Okay.
myself and Jay Goodwin are there every Sunday after the Alliance, folks.
Okay, so let's move on.
Who else is in the bin? And finally,
And finally, anybody know what it is?
Is it a death?
Everybody does, but Ian doesn't.
can you tell what it is yet? Oh no! Why are you picking on me? Seriously, what
who
is this
dat?
all about?
Ooh, that Ian!
No
Look
idea.
at that boo font on the guy on the left.
I
It's
know,
a
I
boof
know.
is that?
That is an impressive.
Why am I in the
Yes.
bin? For God's sake!
You're not in the bin.
You're not
in the
bin,
bin.
stupid
Okay.
ass.
You'll find it. Yeah.
All
We
right.
never exit the bin, and then the final
Oh,
thing
okay.
is always
Okay.
Common people's keyboard has just gone ballistic.
What?
You're getting all the ones.
I was very young there. I can't remember. I was 19 or something like that. 19.
Did you ever model, by the way, Ian? Because you have the
No.
jawline for modeling.
No.
Were you directing
I was
Jedward?
indeed.
That's for the Brits, everybody.
Well, I wasn't. They weren't Jedward, but I was directing this short film. It was a pilot for the BBC, so I was directing this.
Grange Hill.
Yeah, it was a for a kid for BBC, children's
Oh, okay.
BBC, but it didn't get picked up. So
Did
What was
these
it
boys
called?
come off set with Jimmy Savile before
Oh,
working with him?
thanks. I was going to go. Was it called Savile's
Phrasing.
Stunners?
no, yeah. God, look how young I am. It's ridiculous.
What happened?
What year
Ian?
was this, actually? Sorry.
I can't remember.
Where did it all go wrong, Ian?
Well, yeah, that's what I keep asking myself.
Is that a Spider-Man shirt? What do you?
Yes,
wearing?
it is.
Oh,
It's,
nice.
No, I was just pleased to see you.
huge fan of Todd McFarlane in those days.
Ah,
I used to
cool.
love wearing that. Was one of my favorite Spider-Man. I wore it so much that it got worn out in the wash. And it just fell apart in the end. Yeah.
Same thing happened to my Judge Dredd shirt.
I've got a Don't Panic badge on as well.
Ah, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Flav says 82.
Maybe.
That means that you'd be in your 60s right now, Ian, which doesn't sound
Yeah, well, next year I'm going to be 60. Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Yeah. Next year. So there you go.
Is that Brune on the left? No.
No.
too much hair.
See, punchable face. I made, Jedward. I made that joke. Yes. Good joke. Yes. One for the Brits.
Yeah, that chambray shirt, it's coming back. I hope you still have that.
How's
I don't know,
Rebecca Platinum going at the moment, Ian?
It's going all right. I'm running out of money though, so I'm talking to a couple of people
Do we
that
need
might
some
give me money.
donations to your GoFundMe?
It would be nice. Yeah, it would be nice. But yeah, I fingers crossed I can complete it before the end of this year.
Mhm.
So there you go.
How many minutes have you got to film? Do you know?
10
Rough.
10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes I've got left. So there you go.
If-
That's the
if I-
beginning sequence.
If I may, roughly, how much does it cost per minute?
Do you know what?
Figure, or don't you
I
know?
didn't know, because the way I've shot it is when I get money, I shoot. When I get money, I
Yeah.
shoot. I couldn't tell you how much money I've spent so far. I just don't want to know. Otherwise, I'll just if I realize I spent more money than I should have.
You've got 10 minutes to film. Could one of my mods please post Ian's GoFundMe in the chats?
God, I wish I could go back in time
So do I.
and
we all
look
do.
like that now.
You go, Flav wrenched. How much do you need roughly?
It's about 10 grand I need.
There you go. Speaking of 10 grand, the internet help desk, very good with figures. Wrenched, remembering the acolyte was 10,000 a second.
Yeah, I wish I had 10,000. But yeah.
Here you go, folks. Ian's It's in the description. We have it in the description every week. But there's Ian's GoFundMe.
That was a school I used to go to. We shot that in the school I used to go to. Isn't that crazy?
Aw.
I know. And can you see that old-fashioned? I can't remember what K light that is, but in those days, those lights were really hot. Today you got the EDL lights, but you know.
You should sell autographs. How much can we charge? A pound?
Yeah. No,
Gavin Blackburn.
$500 like Mark Hamill.
Ian's autographs at £400 each.
That's right,
Unlimited quantities available.
To Amelia, it's shit.
Yeah.
Ian.
Yeah, they pay £100 for that. If you haven't seen Rebecca Gold, first season is on YouTube, folks.
Is the Rebecca Gold channel monetized?
What does that mean?
Like
No, because you have to have a certain amount of watch times and stuff like that.
And you don't have the watch time.
I don't. That's what I'm saying, but I don't put out material like every week. I mean, the last bit of material I put out was, I think it was last week. It was just like,
that's fine. But I'm saying when people go and watch even the old episodes, you're monetized. You make money off that still.
I don't.
You don't know, do you?
I'm not monetized. Yeah, I'm not monetized. I know.
So
I'm
maybe
not
everyone just go give him, because I think it's only 500 hours.
500 or 1,000. They keep changing all of the goalposts.
Yeah, but it's it's not very high. So if literally everyone in the chat right now went and watched every single episode of season 1 of Rebecca Gold, you'd hit the monetization requirement.
Leave a tab open, folks.
Okay, that's homework, everybody. Homework. Watch Rebecca Gold.
And it's only like a half hour of your time.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes.
Altogether.
It's nothing, folks. Yeah. Just watch. Yeah, watch it, yes.
Cheers, ears,
and like, interact.
Okay, I do feel that is probably it. Yes.
Musings.
Today's dates, blah, 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 blah.
I really like the red. Digging it.
I've been told that the thumbnail's pretty good for once. Okay. That is it, folks. Chat, you are wonderful. Thank you for the interaction and the super chats. We will see you next time. I will go get the guests up. I'll put Ian to the top. And I will thank the guests. Vex, Electronica. Cheers, Vex.
Cheers. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Master Nayat. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks for having me on. Had a great time. Cheers,
What's the local time where you are?
9:26 a.m.
Oh, not too. What time did you get up this morning?
Like 5:30 to go over the slides. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yowza. Okay. Tell you what, I'll just move. Here we go. Boomerang, folks. Professor R2. Cheers, Prof.
Cheers. Thanks for the invite, as always. Great being on with everybody. Great to see you again, Vex. And, not too much going on with me. I'm getting ready to start my my semester again, starting back with the school year. So I'm going to be busy. But I'll still be around, and Sundays are a great time for me. So still be here. But I'm going to continue to be a regular on the Night Owl with Price of Reason. He does that on Tuesday and Thursday evenings. So if you want to go follow his live channel, he has 2 channels. So he's got one where he does his live shows, and Vex has been over there too.
There you go.
He's got an amazing singing voice, by the way. Price of Reason, if you've heard it. Yeah,
Okay.
he does. Oh yeah. I would love for him to just record an intro for my channel. I like his voice a lot.
First time on the channel. It's been long overdue. Adam Gray.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I've been waiting a long time to pop my cherry with Mr. Brown, and
It's popped, mate.
it was about what I expected,
Popped.
but have a nap and another go at it.
Is that why the thumbnail's red?
It's what's left of him.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you
And
very much.
Last but by no means least, all that malarkey, Mega Geek. End of yes.
Yeah,
Cheers,
no
Ed.
worries, guys, no worries.
That is it, folks. Earworms is on next with Wayfarer. I don't think we're going to be back next weekend. Stuff going on in real life, folks. Recently, I've not been feeling the best. As I've always said, I know you guys. What keeps me doing this is I know you guys like it. And I know my lot in life, it's to organise the youth club for the old bastards. So I don't think we're going to be here next week. I just need a break away from YouTube for a little while. So we will be back at some point. So, as I always say, I don't think what is it? B-Sup will be on tomorrow, but you never know. Echo, probably Tuesday. Master, you doing your show Tuesday?
Yeah, we're going to be covering Alien Romulus and potentially every other Alien film next Tuesday as well.
Ooh, fun.
Okay.
Nice.
We're not going to be back Wednesday, so you have to amuse yourself that night. Thursday, there'll be open bar. Friday, who knows?
B-sides.
B-sides.
Yes.
B-sides.
Oh, yes.
Well,
Watch us
B-Sup
Sorry,
is
my friend.
actually going to be
Go.
on tomorrow, guys.
Is it?
Nice.
Yes, I got a message from
Okay.
Movie
So
Cynic.
B-Sup is back tomorrow, folks. So
Hooray.
we will see you. Well, I was going to say next week, but we won't. Have a great week, everybody, and we will see you at some point in the future. Take care, everybody. Tally bye.
Bye.
We're out of
Good night.
here. Take care, everybody.